FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports. Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you on this wonderful Monday. Do we have a lot to get into in today's show? I think you guys can guess what the top story is in the city. You can also guess what the top story is in the National Football League. It was a Sunday that was defined by injuries. Micah Parsons is out for the rest of the season. Devontae Adams is injured. And also the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, tore his ACL yesterday in the fourth quarter of another home loss, this one to the Los Angeles Chargers. We got a lot to get into in today's show. Coming up in about 30 minutes or so, Dr. David Chow is going to join us, and we'll talk to him about the injury for Patrick Mahomes. We are also going to be joined by the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, Mitch Holtz, is going to be on the show today. We got a lot to get into in today's show. We are also going to take your calls. You guys know the tone on these Monday shows. It just doesn't need to be me ranting for 4 hours. You guys definitely deserve to be heard after what we saw yesterday. So the phone lines are going to be open today, 913-586-7965. There will certainly be pockets in the show to take your phone calls. But I want to start with this. But before we get there, I need to remind you of a couple of things. Number one, I need you to listen to the show every day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. And number three, and most importantly, I need you to remember that the open of the show is brought to you by our friends over at The Other Place. So if you're looking for somewhere to watch Monday Night Football coming up later today, you're looking for a place to grab a bite to eat, looking for a place to grab something to drink, then look no further than our friends over at The Other Place for all of your needs. This is where I would like to start. Because right now, the Chiefs, as an organization, have their biggest challenge. It is fixing Patrick Mahomes both physically and mentally. Now, we'll talk about the injury side of it, and we're going to have a doctor on and what this potentially means from them and a physical aspect. But we've seen players tear their ACL before. Tom Brady tore his ACL. I'm sure by now you've seen the parallels that exist between Tom Brady's career and also Patrick Mahomes' career. So I have no questions on whether or not Mahomes is, A, going to be dedicated enough to the physical therapy and training to get back. I have no questions, no doubt in my mind if Patrick Mahomes can go back to physically being the same quarterback that he was before. But we got to talk about the two things that the Chiefs need to do. And number one, they need to fix, in my opinion, what we saw was a mentally broken quarterback. Our dear friend Therese Paylor used to talk about Patrick Mahomes and use the term John Wick. And we would talk about those over my dead body games. How many times have you seen somebody say something negative about the Chiefs and the expectation was that Patrick Mahomes was going to take that thing and use it for fuel, that he was going to take it personally and take this slight, take this disrespect, and it was going to be a great wrath that was about to come down on you? That is not the quarterback that we saw play yesterday for the Kansas City Chiefs. The quarterback that we saw for the first time in his NFL career, in my mind, looked broken, in my opinion. And I don't think he was broken on his own accord. I think they broke him. And they, meaning Andy Reid and Matt Nagy, I think they broke him. We can talk a lot about Patrick Mahomes and the incredible things that we've seen him do over the first 8-9 years of his career. But Patrick Mahomes' best ability in my mind is the belief that he has that he is a superhero. I made this analogy yesterday on social media. Steph Curry takes a lot of bad shots. But part of Steph Curry taking those bad shots is that he was the first person we ever saw with the audacity to take those shots and confidently know that he can make them. And if you take that part away from Steph Curry, then he's not Steph Curry anymore. He's not the greatest shooter that we've ever seen. You guys remember that touchdown pass that Patrick Mahomes had against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where he's like dancing around and all of a sudden he just flips it in the back of the end zone to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And you remember immediately after doing that, he looks at the defensive player and says, I'm like that. Just in that moment, to understand your own ability and how great you are at this, to tell some of the other greatest athletes in the world, yeah, I'm better than you. I'm different. That is not the version of Patrick Mahomes that played yesterday for the Chiefs. You saw a Patrick Mahomes who looked unsure of himself and looked unsure of the people around him. That throw, the interception that he threw intended for Kareem Hunt, is the worst pass of his career. It is not debatable, in my opinion. I don't want to read a text, oh, what about this one? No. Given the time, score, situation, who you are throwing it to, it is the absolute worst pass that we have seen from Patrick Mahomes in his career. And he has done that now multiple times this season. Whether it was the bobbled ball and maybe not throwing it in the right place, maybe it was that throw. We can go through the interceptions in the red zone in critical moments that Patrick Mahomes has thrown that has directly resulted in the team losing. I think they broke him mentally. So part of their responsibility in my mind is not just to get his knee fixed. They got to get that superhero back. Because part of it is a fearlessness that Patrick Mahomes has. It's the Patrick Mahomes that runs around and makes the airplane with his hands out and counts to 10 when he throws a touchdown against the Chicago Bears. There is a certain swagger and aura about him that he played with that looked gone yesterday. And the fire looked like it had been completely extinguished. Over the course of the show, I'll tell you how I think that happened. I'll tell you why I think that happened. But we at least have to acknowledge the quarterback that we saw was not a superhero. That is not the quarterback that you have argued online with Bills fans and Bengals fans, that he is the best quarterback in the league. That is not one of the three greatest quarterbacks in the history of the league. And in a conversation with Joe Montana and Tom Brady as the greatest to ever do it, what you saw yesterday was a man who was a fraction of himself, a guy who just seemed broken and defeated by the situation that he has been placed in, a team that can't run the football, a team that couldn't block and protect him up front, and not a single receiver on their team that can beat man coverage. And yesterday, and maybe I'm the only person that felt this way, did you have this feeling of like impending doom as you were watching the game? I mean, as you were seeing players left and right, everybody got injured. Jalen Moore got hurt. Trent McDuffie was out with an injury. I mean, it was a who's who. Who's that down there? Oh, it's Chris Jones. I mean, we're talking about the guys who you have gone out to Chiefs Kingdom to see, the guy who you bought their jersey. I mean, we are talking about it was the foundational pieces for the Chiefs, and it was crumbling right before our eyes. And I know you were thinking the exact same thing I was thinking. I mean, they're probably not going to win this game, but the one thing that can't happen is that guy can't get hurt, and he got hurt. We all have the same reaction. It felt different when this happened. It's the same fear you had when he got hurt against the Broncos some years ago when he's down there and normally he pops right back up. Maybe he gets up and he walks off kind of gingerly. We all know the Mahomes little waddle that he does. This felt different. The way that he grabbed his knee, the way that he rolled around, everything about it, you knew this was very, very serious with Patrick Mahomes. So I'm not here to fearmonger, at least with the injury. I don't think Mahomes is going to miss all of 2026. I think Mahomes will probably be back sooner rather than later. I don't think he's the week one starter for the Chiefs, but I don't think we're talking about this thing going into Halloween. I would guess that Patrick Mahomes plays at some point in the first half of next season. We're going to have a doctor on the show. He can tell you, but just based on you look at other players that have had this injury, also factoring in his position, and I don't think that there is going to be a second where he is not working and actively trying to get back on the field. I think that Mahomes is back at some point between weeks 3 and week 6 next year in the National Football League. So that is one side of it. It is physically repairing your quarterback and getting him ready for the second half of his career, getting him ready for the return, the bounce back. How do we get back to the postseason? How do we get back to dominating this division? How do we get back to playing for championships? But the second part of this, to me, is much more important. They got to get that fire back in their quarterback. They got to get the quarterback that believes he can make every single throw on the field. They got to get that quarterback that was described as John Wick or over my dead body, because they killed that quarterback this season. Whether it was how they built this roster, the injuries, the scheme, all of those things, I think it broke Patrick Mahomes down as the season progressed. And an offense that was just limping to the finish line was unable to get there because their quarterback got hurt yesterday. Coming up on the other side, we're going to be joined by Dr. David Chow. We'll get his thoughts on the Patrick Mahomes injury. We'll also open up the phone lines. We're going to have a lot of time to take your phone calls today. 913-586-7965. You can text in as well. We'll keep talking Chiefs here. Keep it locked in. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
The NFL season is rolling along, and you're starting to get a better feel on who's a contender and who's a pretender, and you can make all your predictions over at FanDuel. The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who you think is going to win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. And tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers 30% profit boost token. That's right. You can get in on the action for 30% profit boost on this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for every snap. So whether you want to bet who's going to win the game, who's going to score a touchdown, or who's going to score the first touchdown, you can do all that with our friends over at FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to bet on the game. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Casino LLC. Gambling problem? Get out with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
For nearly 100 years, Busey Wealth Management has helped families and businesses make smart financial decisions that stand the test of time. From personalized investment plans to tax strategies that work for you, we take a big picture approach, connecting you with the right experts to help protect what you've built and plan for what's next. Busey Wealth Management, here for every chapter of your financial story.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
Dane Hughes here. I've seen a lot of stat lines in my playing days, but these numbers, they caught my attention. Flight by Yingling, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and all the crisp, refreshing flavor you want in a light beer. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, so you know it's got some serious history behind it. If you're into stats and taste, you're going to love this beer. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Dane Hughes. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match
ZipRecruiter. Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Need your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
Are you looking for a podcast about pro football that doesn't put you to sleep with an avalanche of analytics or insult your fandom with brainless hot takes? Well, hi. I'm Dan Hansis.
And I'm Mark Sessler.
Oh, hi, Mark. And we're the hosts of Heed the Call, the NFL podcast you've been waiting your whole life for.
Heed the Call covers every game, every storyline, everything that matters, and we do it all with a touch of mirth.
Football is fun. Why shouldn't your football podcast be the same?
Follow and listen to Heed the Call NFL podcast wherever you get your podcast.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. Coming up in about 10 minutes or so, Dr. David Chow is going to join us on the show. We got time to take some phone calls here, 913-586-7965. We're going to give you time to call in. We're going to read text today. Today is about all of us talking about the end of the season for the Kansas City Chiefs. Someone texted this in about the game. C-Dot, where do you think this thing went wrong? I think we could spend the next 4 hours talking about this. I know that I have beat this drum to death this season, but I firmly believe this. I think that Andy and Brett Veach set this offense up for failure from the very beginning of the season. And some of the offensive issues I think were kind of easy to spot, and I still don't know why the Chiefs sat on their hands all offseason. I know we will disagree on how often they run or Andy sticking to the run. In the two most important games of the season, if you were still holding out hope these last couple of weeks because they're home games and the Chiefs always figure it out and they played much better at home against two pretty good defenses. Houston's defense is really good. The Chargers' defense is really good. The Chiefs ran the ball with their running backs 41 times and got 101 yards. I'm sorry. You cannot be a productive, capable offense in 2025 if your team cannot run the football. And the Chiefs, if you want to say it's because they run from shotgun, if you want to blame the offensive line, if you want to blame the scheme, I don't care. They cannot run the football. And if you can't run the football, it then becomes open season on your quarterback. That's what it is. You don't have to respect one half of offense. And especially when you have the mash unit that the Chiefs put out there on their offensive line, so you're not giving good protection up front for your quarterback. We can talk more about their wide receivers and their inability to consistently get open against man coverage. And you add all of those things up, I think it then creates the mentality for your quarterback, man, I got to do everything. How many times have you been working on a group project and you don't think that the people you're working with are good enough and you just think, all right, fine, I'll do it. Man, you can't win consistently in the National Football League with that mentality from your quarterback. And Mahomes has a whole lot of strengths, but I think you can point to one of the weaknesses and negatives that he has is when he feels like he has to do it, it doesn't work for the rest of the team. when he feels like I got to carry the run game, I got to make every throw. Why in the world would you throw up a 50-50 ball to Kareem Hunt? That's a terrible play. There's no excuse for that play. If you throw up a 50-50 ball to Rashee Rice, you can maybe explain it to me. You throw up a 50-50 ball to Travis Kelce, all right. Throwing up a 50-50 ball to your 30-year-old running back is an awful play and a terrible decision. I think at the end of this thing, aside from the injury, Mahomes was starting to question everything. What can we do offensively? What is our identity as an offense? And I think that some of those issues were created in the offseason. And it was created when this team did absolutely nothing to try to improve their run game. It was also exacerbated when they put all of their confidence in Isaiah Pacheco, a player who was coming off a broken leg. There is a clear line in Isaiah Pacheco's career, pre-injury and post-injury. Pre-injury, we loved Isaiah Pacheco. He ran so hard. He danced. He was fun. His energy was infectious. He has not been the same player. And the Chiefs made a costly mistake in how they built their offense this year. They built their offense with the belief that Isaiah Pacheco was coming back, and he didn't come back. And it put a strain on literally everything else on their offense. I may be the only person that feels this way. I don't care. I don't think over the last 2 weeks it was a lack of effort when it came to running the football. They ran the football 41 times with those running backs. Between Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, and Brashard Smith, 41 carries. They got 101 yards. If you're telling me as a defensive coordinator, I don't got to respect your run game at all because I don't think you can run it, and if you do run it, you'll get 2-3 yards, and there's no explosiveness. There's no good offense in the league built this way. There's not a single team that you think can score that is built this way. And they just all off season. It set him up. It set their offense up for failure in April when they did this. We can't go back now. There's no crying over spilled milk. But the biggest why for me when it came to their offense is that I think they got good enough receivers. Flawed receivers. They got good enough receivers. But if you can't attack a defense in multiple ways and you can't run the football effectively, it then becomes open season on your quarterback. And that's what it's been the last 2 weeks. It's been open season on Patrick Mahomes. There's times where I think plays are there. I think he's just skittish. There was one play, he took a sack. Rob, you remember this play? I believe he had Tyquan Thornton wide open on the left side of the field. And he was looking to his first read with Rashee Rice. He was covered up, and then he just got frantic and had no clue what to do and just basically just fell into a turtle position and just took a sack. You got to get Mahomes playing free. You got to get Mahomes playing loose and playing like himself. That's why, to me, they got two responsibilities. They got to fix a broken quarterback physically and get his knee right. They got to fix a broken quarterback mentally. And that is on Andy. That is on Matt Nagy or whomever they have working with Patrick Mahomes next year. There's things that need to be corrected heading into next season. We got some time to take some phone calls before we're joined by Dr. David Chow to get his thoughts on Patrick Mahomes' torn ACL. Let's go to Brad. He is in Olathe. Hey, Brad, how you doing today, man?
Hey, not too bad, C-Dot. Sometimes you get punched in the mouth by life. As a kingdom, we've been punched in the mouth, and it stinks, but I want the whole kingdom to appreciate what we've had and what we do have during this holiday season. And I want every single member of the kingdom wearing their number 15 jerseys, number 15 shirts this Red Friday. And I know we're out of the playoffs, and I know it stinks, and I know we're going to have to find something else to do, during January besides watch the Chiefs. But I think this is the time as a kingdom, we rally around our team, we rally around our quarterback, and we pick it up next year. And, yeah, we got some things to fix, but we can fix them. C-Dot, I'll take you off the air. Bye.
Brad, I'm with you, man. I appreciate it, man. I love the hopeful optimism. I'm here telling you right now, that Christmas game, you can go for free. I'm telling you right now. They got a fourth preseason game coming up in their next home game. It's going to be cold. It's Christmas night, and Gardner Minshew is their starting quarterback. Oh, they giving them tickets away. Rob, what would you need to go to the Christmas Day game?
I would need tickets into the suite, a suite, parking pass. That's probably does it for me. Parking pass in a suite. That gets me home. I don't need to be in Taylor's suite. Just a suite.
A suite. Somebody's suite. Yeah. You don't got to be in that one. You take another one.
The way. I mean, we all have an understanding from the cameras of where her suite is. I can be opposite side of her suite. Just in a suite so it's warm. All you can eat, all you can drink. And, get that $60 parking off my tab. Yeah, then I'm open to the idea.
Text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, you can't blame others when the Chiefs lose and then give him credit when they win. A lot of this is his fault. No question. I think Patrick Mahomes' decision-making killed the Chiefs this year in multiple spots. I think him trying to do too much cost them in multiple spots. I think it cost them against Jacksonville. I think it cost them against Denver. I think it cost them in yesterday's game. No question. I don't ever want it to come off like I think Patrick Mahomes is without criticism or can't be criticized. Absolutely. I still believe that the Chiefs have one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the National Football League. I think they ruined him this season. I think they ruined him. I don't think he's played like that for the last 6 weeks. I don't think that Patrick Mahomes' skills have diminished in any way. He's a 30-year-old player. He was still healthy before all of this. How did it get this bad? Because it didn't look like they had a top 3 quarterback in the league yesterday. And we didn't got to go top 3 just in the league. I think Patrick Mahomes is one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks in the history of the league. I think it's Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning. I think he's in that category. Does anybody feel like they had prime Peyton Manning as their quarterback this year? How did this happen? I don't think it's a diminishing in skills. Does anybody think that Mahomes is washed? We think he's cooked? We think it's over? No. I firmly believe their lack of a run game set their offense up for failure. And because they didn't have a great running back in 2021, they didn't think they needed a good running back in 2025. They ran the ball 41 times these last 2 weeks and got 101 yards. Their best rushing option is a Patrick Mahomes scramble. And I think the pressure that puts on the rest of your offense, I think Patrick Mahomes, I think it caused problems elsewhere. One major thing with their offense was broken, and it causes your quarterback to feel like he has to do everything to overcompensate for what you don't have. Let's go back to the phone lines. We got time to take 2 more of these calls before Dr. David Chow joins us on the show. Ted called into the show today. Hey, Ted, how you doing, man?
Hey, C-Dot. Hey, you're doing great. Thanks for taking my call. And I'm agreeing with you on that. Yesterday, Pacheco and Hunt had 1.9 and a 2.0 rushing yard average. That's not going to get it done. And that was against a defense that did not run one blitz. So you had 7 people in coverage that whole game. And they're stopping up the run. That puts too much pressure on Mahomes and too much pressure for him to have to do it all, that superhero stuff. It finally caught up to him yesterday, and he got hurt. And I think, he's hurt, and I think the coach, Beach, Reed, OC all have a hand in that, and we got to do something to get this thing balanced out for next year. Thanks for taking the call.
Absolutely, Ted, man. I appreciate it. I do think this. I think they're going to have to build their offense differently, and I think they're going to be forced to do it just because, as of now, there's an uncertainty of when Patrick Mahomes comes back. We're going to talk to David Chow. Hey, when's the earliest he could come back? I would be surprised if Patrick Mahomes didn't play at all in 2026. I'd be surprised if this ended up being a 13, 14-month injury. That's not what ACLs are in 2025. I don't even think that's what Achilles are in 2025. I think that Jason Tatum is going to play this year in the NBA. So I think Patrick Mahomes is going to play next season. But those first 4, 5, 6 games that they don't have Patrick Mahomes are really, really important in how you make the postseason. So you can't be 2-4 in those games when you potentially get Patrick Mahomes back. And how do you get things going in the second half of the season when you get your quarterback? So I think in some ways they're going to be forced to build their offense a little bit differently to complement whomever their quarterback is going to be. I don't know who it's going to be. It could be Jameis Winston. It could be Russell Wilson. It could be Justin Fields. I don't know. But I do feel very strongly I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to be their week 1 starter. I don't think he's going to be their week 2 starter. But I think he'll be like their week 9, week 10 starter. I believe they will get Patrick Mahomes back at some point next season. I think we're all just waiting to figure out when that can potentially be. We're going to be joined by Dr. David Chow here coming up momentarily. We got time to take one more phone call. Michael, you calling into the show. Hey, Michael, how you doing, man?
Hey, I agree with everything you say. I mean, it's like, the Chiefs just no run game. The defense, they tried their best yesterday, but what do you think about bringing Alex Smith in as offensive coordinator?
I appreciate the phone call. I'm not interested in bringing in Alex Smith. He's just never done it before. I mean, I like Alex Smith as like a media guy. I don't know if I would bring Alex Smith in where I'm having him call the plays, but if I had to guess, I think that next year their offensive coordinator is going to be Mike Kafka. It feels like a Chiefs thing to do. I think you help Matt Nagy and he goes off to be the associate head coach somewhere else. You make sure that he lands well. I do think that Andy really likes Matt Nagy, and I think that they just end up getting a new offensive coordinator. I think they end up getting Mike Kafka. I think that's the way this plays itself out. Let's go back to the phone lines here. We are very happy right now to be joined by Dr. David Chow. He is at Pro Football Doc on Twitter to learn a little bit more about this Patrick Mahomes ACL injury. Dr. Chow, happy to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having me. And I see your view out your window is way better than mine. I'm in the office here.
So, Dr. Chow, let's start with this. I just read that Patrick Mahomes is going to Dallas to get a second opinion. What would a second opinion mean in this aspect? I mean, the Chiefs have concluded that he's torn his ACL. You're not going to a second opinion to tell you that it's not torn. What does a second opinion mean here?
Well, it's not uncommon to get second opinions and gather all information, but here's what I think it means. From the Sports Injury Central War Room, and we posted on Twitter and X and at sicsquare.com, that our initial worry with Patrick Mahomes was an ACL and or LCL, anterior cruciate ligament and lateral collateral ligament injury. The ACL part has been confirmed. But what is typical is that, not all ACLs are the same. An ACL injury is like saying, gee, I got rear-ended on the highway, but how much damage was done, right? What additional damage? Not all ACL tears are created equal in terms of the additional damage, meniscus, cartilage damage, or associated ligament damage. And if you go back to Pro Football Doc timeline, you can see pretty quickly Patrick Mahomes' video, and some Chiefs fans probably don't want to see it again. Not only does knee buckle, but it buckled what we call the knee went outward, which was likely to stress the LCL as well. And with that, the second opinion makes some sense. The Cowboys team physician in Dallas has become known in agent circles as having done lots of LCL injuries, including Jalen Smith, a linebacker out of Notre Dame, and some other guys. So that's probably what that second opinion is about.
Right now, we're talking to Dr. David Chow, who is at Pro Football Doc on Twitter. So I just saw this tweet that Kyler Murray last year, he tore his ACL on December 12th. Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL on December 14th. Kyler Murray's first game back the following season was November 12th of the following season. I think everyone is asking the same question. I don't wonder whether or not Mahomes can come back and be the same quarterback. We've seen plenty of guys tear their ACL with modern medicine, with all those things. Patrick Mahomes can still be Patrick Mahomes. I think the question for 2026 is, when could they potentially get him back? I would be surprised if he missed all of next season. What's a realistic time frame? What's a realistic window that he could potentially get back on the field?
Well, never doubt Patrick Mahomes, right? You guys have grown to know this. And he has played through a number of issues and injuries, including through that high ankle sprain where he won a Super Bowl on it. And everyone says you can't play through a high ankle sprain. Well, Patrick Mahomes can and did with his off-platform throws when he had that high ankle sprain. So I'm not going to doubt Patrick Mahomes' ability to recover. The first thing is it really isolated ACL? What else does he have to do? I think there's a reasonable chance that he could be ready for the start of next season, but more from the pocket and less dynamic, right? And the reason why Kyler Murray didn't return until November, and yes, it is common to go on PUP coming off an ACL this late in the year, and Micah Parsons likely will be on PUP because guess what? You have to be more dynamic to be a pass rusher. Patrick Mahomes is a dynamic quarterback, but we did see yesterday a very non-dynamic quarterback, my friend Phillip Rivers, almost sneak out a win. So there's different levels of quarterback play and types of play. So because of that, I think there's a chance he could be ready the start of the season. Kyler Murray wasn't ready because Kyler Murray needs the dynamic side. Just a pure pocket Kyler Murray isn't good enough. A pure pocket Mahomes is good enough, I believe. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he can get ready. And the other silver lining is the young man has played a lot of football. And sometimes it's not the worst thing in the world. Obviously, he'll still be with the Chiefs in the same system, not having to learn a system. Getting a breather and concentrating on some rehab instead of off-season practice might rejuvenate him, and I hope so.
That's interesting to hear you say that. So, I mean, just based on, I guess, your history, and obviously you're not diagnosing him. It's just kind of from what you've seen from the video and just your expertise. So you think there's a chance that Mahomes could play week 1 next year?
I do. I would not rule it out. First of all, look, understand what I'm saying. The Chiefs have a very good medical staff, Rick Burkhalter, the rest of the guys, et cetera. And yes, I'm a former Chargers head team position in the division, et cetera. But, you know, Phillip Rivers came back and played here. Phillip Rivers, remember, tore his ACL and played 6 days after a knee scope in the AFC Championship game in 2008. And 100 days later was at practice, not 100%, but at practice in an OTAs in a mini camp 100 days after his ACL. And Phillip obviously is the consummate pocket-only guy, and I'm not suggesting that Patrick Mahomes is a pocket-only guy, but his pocket game is good enough to be ready to play, and it's because of that that I would not doubt that he could be ready to go on week 1. However, he's not going to be the run-around, scramble-around, extend plays Patrick Mahomes that we've seen in the last couple of weeks, doing what is necessary to get the job done in that respect when the O-line breaks down.
Right now, we're talking to Dr. David Chow here for a couple of more minutes. He is at Pro Football Doc on Twitter. He was a former trainer for the San Diego Chargers. So, Dr. Chow, take us through what the next 90 days look like. Obviously, he's going to need surgery, but as you start to begin this rehab, as you start to begin the process to coming back, what does that look like? Are there certain kind of checkpoints that you want to hit and you want to see from him as he's starting to get back? Take us through what the next 90 days looks like.
Well, I mean, he's going to get a second opinion, and they're going to figure out what's the best timing for the surgery. Is there an advantage if there's a repair of the LCL to go early? Or is it better off to rest to let some of the swelling go down? And then you get, turn your page to regaining range of motion, getting rid of the swelling post-surgery, and then on to rehab. In 90 days from now, I think you'll see video and images and social media pictures of Patrick Mahomes walking around and looking sort of normal. And the fan base will get all excited about maybe being ready for the start of the season. But there's still a long way to go in terms of rehab before he gets there.
That is Dr. David Chow joining us on the show. He is at Pro Football Doc. Happy to get a doctor's opinion on the injury with Patrick Mahomes. Dr. Chow, something tells me that you and I are going to have a lot of conversations over these next 9 months because I'm guessing we're going to get a lot of updates on whether he can throw at minicamp, whether he can throw at OTAs, what's his participation going to be like at training camp. Something tells me that we're going to be talking a lot here over the next 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, and every time we talk, just like today, I hope to bring, at least there's a glass half empty approach and a glass half full approach. And, everyone's gotten the bad news on Patrick Mahomes, but hopefully, we can concentrate on the positive things and so forth and bring that to the fan base a little bit.
Absolutely. That is Dr. David Chow joining us on the show today. He is at Pro Football Doc on Twitter. Really interesting stuff that he thinks there's a possibility that Mahomes could play week 1 of the NFL season. Obviously, it's super early. Let's see when Mahomes actually has the surgery. Let's see how things progress, if there's a setback, any of those things. But very interesting that he thought that he could play in the opening week of next year in the National Football League. We got time to take some more phone calls. 913-586-7965. 913-586-7965. Coming up at the top of the hour, I do want to talk to you guys about, there was a tweet from Jeremy Fowler, and an AFC executive said that the Chiefs just look tired. I'll give you my thoughts on that. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtz, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, folks, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Many men remember their first time. Not that first time. I'm talking about the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined that special moment. And if you're over 50, then the chances are then you've experienced this before. That first time can be frustrating. It can be a little bit embarrassing. But here's the good news. At Heartland Men's Health, that first time can also be the last time. Heartland Men's Health specializes in treating ED when the pills and herbals fail. With a success rate of over 90%, many men see results just after one visit. So your first visit is just $99, which includes a consult, lab work, and if medically advised, you get a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. So don't let ED define your sex life. Call my friends at Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com today. You can also stop by and visit any of the 3 area locations, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Be sure to stop by Heartland Men's Health.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets. From yards to touchdowns to who will win, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel's giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right, you can get in on all the action with a 30% PBT this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Whenever you want to bet, whatever you want to bet, just visit FanDuel.com/Alex to bet on the game. That's FanDuel.com/Alex. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Having a financial partner who's all in changes everything. It's the difference between hoping for a home and holding the keys. Between dreaming about your own business and actually opening the doors. Between turning what ifs into what's next. At Community America, we're here for every moment, with financial expertise built around every part of your life. Because when you have a financial partner that's invested in every part of you, you can't help but feel like a star. Member owned, open to all. Community America Credit Union, invested in you.
Oh no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A., member FDIC.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This afternoon, expect sunny skies with a high of 45.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
The Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 Enrichment Grant is providing one local high school $20,000 to use on upgrades and equipment. Open to all area schools and no strings attached. Take a minute to tell us what your high school needs at helpmymocanschool.com, and we'll announce the winner January 4th on the Chiefs Radio Network.
Hey, it's Rashi Rice from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
All right, we'll take some phone calls here. Rob, I want to get your thoughts on this as well. I think we all want the same thing here. So I don't want anyone to take these comments like we are not all fighting the same fight. We all want the same goal. I want Patrick Mahomes to be back on the field as quickly as possible. I'm not looking forward to 4 weeks of interviewing Anthony Richardson at the beginning of the season. I kind of like our conversations with Patrick Mahomes. I've grown quite fond of them over the years. But I will say this. I don't want Pat back week 1 just for the sake of him being back. Because we were just listening to Dr. Chow, who obviously knows way more about this than I did. And he was talking about Kyler Murray. Well, Kyler Murray, it took him longer because he plays like this, and it could possibly be quicker. If Pat is just only going to be a primarily pocket passer, then he's not Patrick Mahomes then. Part of Patrick Mahomes is the ability to take off on third down, and the guy who was willing to not go out of bounds against the Tennessee Titans and score the running touchdown, or the quarterback that has the long run against the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl, or the quarterback that put his shoulder down against the San Francisco 49ers and ran over that guy for a rushing touchdown. It is the ability to use his legs, scramble around, and look downfield and still make big throws. So if Patrick Mahomes can't come back and be that quarterback, and it takes an extra 4-5 weeks to get to that point, then take the extra 4 or 5 weeks. Pat has to either A, be in a position where he feels like he can defend himself out there on the field. And I think what you're seeing with some of these quarterbacks, I would say Joe Burrow, it's a quarterback that right now can't defend himself. Another quarterback who sounds broken. Now, he sounds broken like I might not play football anymore. But we were talking about it last week. And man, Burrow, he don't sound too happy right now. Pat played that way on Sunday. He played broken, in my opinion. So if Pat can't come back and do all the Patrick Mahomes things and be the superhero and flying around and making plays and playing with that joy and passion that we've seen him with, man, take as much time as you need to get back to that point and feel confident in your ability to get back to be able to do that. That's all I really care about.
I agree with you on the surface. And we're going to have a lot of time now in the offseason to talk about this. We're going to have the next 4 weeks to talk about it, and then 4, 5, 6 months to talk about it. I agree with you. I don't want Patrick Mahomes coming back 1 minute before Patrick Mahomes is 100%. Because Patrick Mahomes, while still great at 90%, is not at 100%, so take your time and come back. I do think that puts a new onus on the front office and Andy Reid and Brett Veach and the power structure of the Chiefs to make sure they have a competent, capable quarterback in the meantime. Like, that now becomes an offseason need. We have been talking about after the game against the Texans, hey, the offseason to-do list. For the obvious reasons, neither one of us ever included quarterback on that list. Now quarterback is 100% on that list because Patrick Mahomes is like, hey, I'm ready to go. I'm at 82%. Let's go. It's week 1. The Chiefs need to say, no. Let's get you to 100%. We're going to play blank. And blank can't be Gardner Minshew. No disrespect to Gardner. Blank can't be Chad Henne or Matt Moore. It needs to be a guy that you think, hey, I can win 3 of 4 games with this guy. It needs to be a guy where, hey, in a pinch, he's good enough. It cannot be, whomever sitting behind him. It needs to be someone viable. So add quarterback to the list of things because we're on the same page. Do not rush back if you're Patrick Mahomes. Come back at 100%. That's what the team and the city need.
And to be fair, you know all about playing a guy who's not 100% and the negatives that could be. You're seeing that every Saturday afternoon.
Are we going to do the Melvin and Council apology hour now, or are we going to wait?
Let's go to the phone lines here, 913-586.
Because he can't shoot, but he made 9-3.
Now's not the time to talk about this. We can talk about Melvin Council sometime next week. I'm free. Hey, if you want to write it down on when we can talk about Melvin Council, I'm happy to do that. It's just not right now. Let's go to the phone lines. Sean, you called into the show. Sean, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Carrington. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. Appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a small rant. After obviously a rough season, to say the least, a lot of people are calling for people's jobs on the coaching staff, and I just, kind of wanted to get out there and defend Nagy a little bit. Say, we've been with him under offensive coordinator, we've been to 3 Super Bowls. We're 2-3 in those Super Bowls with him. One bad year. Is it really time to get rid of him? I mean, honestly, and then people are saying beyond that, oh, now Andy Reid's in the hot seat. This program was dead in the water until Andy Reid got there. For 10 years, he has put our team back on the map, done great things. We have great success. I just think it's a little a knee-jerk reaction to start firing and calling for people's jobs at this point. So that was kind of the main rant I just wanted to say. And, honestly, we've been to, the playoffs, the last 10 years in a row. The team is tired, exhausted. They got the injury bug this year. There were a lot of problems, but I don't think entirely if anything needs to get changed. It's definitely special teams. That's all I had to say.
Sean, no problem, man. I appreciate the phone call. I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense. I also don't think that it's very practical and not, I guess, applicable to the real world. It's not. When you miss the playoffs the way that they did in spectacular fashion, everybody cannot come back. And I appreciate everything that you've done. And as a collective, they have done and accomplished so many great things. Everybody cannot come back to next year's team. It is impossible. It is unacceptable. If I'm the person paying for everything, if I'm the owner, I'm telling you, you guys didn't meet our standard. This is the standard that we create. This is equivalent to Kansas missing the NCAA tournament. You think all the assistants get to come back? I mean, Bill gets to come back. Maybe Curtis Townsend gets to come back. Everybody else can't come back. You got to fire somebody. It's unacceptable that they missed the playoffs. That's what it is. It's unacceptable. That's the standard that should be. We compete for championships. We were just talking about a three-peat a year ago, and now we're missing the playoffs? No, everybody can't come back. Your offensive coordinator can't come back. Your special teams coach can't come back. Your running back coach certainly can't come back. Your running back coach is a former wide receiver. We should have known that was a problem from the beginning. All these former running backs out there, they got Todd Pinkston on the job. Terrible decision-making. No, I'm sorry. They've done a lot of great things. I'm sorry. Somebody's got to go. That's the way this works. They missed the playoffs this year. Might get to come back next year. Unacceptable. Michael, how you doing, my man?
Hey, C-Dot, you can, all of these are trademarked, Michael from Chicago, but you're free to use them. Do you remember a couple of years ago when, I think it was after Mahomes' first year, when he said something about, I need to learn how to read the defense better, and then there was like this kerfuffle afterwards, like, no, he reads the defense. Do you guys remember that? Like, it was like his first year or two?
Yeah, I do remember that. He went on LeBron's show, The Shop, and said that. I remember.
Yeah, okay. And doesn't it feel like since then, whenever he has gotten into trouble, like where the game isn't going well, he defaults away from reading a defense and running around? And I feel like the Super Bowl last year, we saw him doing that. I felt like we saw him doing that a lot last year. This year, you said yourself that one play where the guy's open and he isn't pulling the trigger. Why is that happening? I firmly believe that this is on Veach's lap. Brett Veach has not given him the protection. For 5 straight off seasons, we've had a franchise tag or some big contract tying up our cap space into knots, and he still didn't solve the tackle positions. until we're only half solved right now at the tackle position, maybe, assuming Josh Simmons, kicks it up next year. And so I put this on Brett Veach's lap. He has got to get the protection down. He has got to fix that. And he's going to have to do it with low-cost options because of all the money spent with Creed and Trey. And I'm just sitting there thinking, you and me both love that throw that Mahomes made to Chris Conley in Game 3 of his first season, right?
Yep.
In the corner there. How about in the same corner of the same end zone, he throws that pick to Hunt? This is headed the wrong way, and I put it on Veach. He's got to fix this with personnel. He's made too many mistakes now. He's a great GM. He's not a perfect GM. He needs to fix this, and if he fixes it, I think our quarterback will get fixed.
I'm with you, Michael. I appreciate the phone call. You guys know my stance. You cannot expect to have a good offense in 2025 if your team cannot run the football. It is unrealistic to think that. Every team that you think is good can run the football. The Chiefs have an F in one grade of your offense and then think that the rest of it, they've spent enough resources on their offensive line. First-round picks, big-time contracts. I don't think the offensive line is the issue that other people is. Man, they had an aging Kareem Hunt and a broken Isaiah Pacheco and just said, hey, it's fine. So at least for me, the biggest things they need this offseason, they need a receiver that can beat man coverage, and they need a capable run game. Take the pressure off Patrick Mahomes. All I've heard for the last 5 years how important it is to support Mahomes and give him things, but you won't give him a run game? Doesn't make any sense. Coming up at the top of the hour, I want to read a tweet to you guys. An underrated aspect of the Chiefs falling flat this year is all the energy they've used over the last 7 years. They've played 81 games in the last 4 seasons. Quote, they just look tired, one AFC executive told Jeremy Fowler. Let's talk about that tweet next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're planning to propose this holiday, we're ready to make creating your engagement ring a warm, welcoming experience. At Shane Company, we're all about your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Explore the widest selection of diamonds and ring settings ready for you to see in person, or visit us at shaneco.com. You'll have your ring in days, not weeks. Our friendly jewelry consultants don't work on commission. There's never any pressure, just perfect proposals. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. Looking for a better car buying experience? At Victory Ford, we do things differently. Friendly, knowledgeable people who actually listen. Clear, upfront pricing with no games or gimmicks, and financing that fits your life. Whether you're hunting a rugged truck, a family SUV, or a fuel-smart commuter, our team walks you through every option so you drive away confident. Got a trade? We pay top dollar. No haggling, just a fair, honest offer so your next ride is within reach. Need financing? Our excellent financing specialists work with multiple lenders to get you competitive terms, even if your credit isn't perfect. We're easy to get to from anywhere in the city, conveniently located at the Legends in KCK, just off 435 and Parallel Parkway, down the street from the Kansas Speedway and Nebraska Furniture Mart. Stop by, take a test drive, and feel the difference of a dealership that treats you like a neighbor. Visit us today at the Legends in KCK or victoryfordkc.com. Victory Ford, where our first price is better than their last.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. Your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Missouri. You can get in on all the action with fast withdrawals, a safe and secure app, and betting that's easy to use anywhere you go. And the best part, DraftKings keeps the excitement going with awesome promos and offers all season long. That's why it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't wait. New customers sign up today. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Let's go, Missouri. Get in the game.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
When cold weather hits, the last thing you want is a heating system that fails. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter for an $89 heating system tune-up. Keeping your system running at peak efficiency can help prevent costly breakdowns, lower energy bills, and ensure your system is ready when temperatures drop. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews, plus our exceptional service guarantee, are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
With the first pick in the McDonald's breakfast draft, I'm going with a tasty sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle sandwich. Bold move, sweet, savory, totally stacked. But wait, that delicious sausage McMuffin with egg sandwich is still on the board. Lucky for me, McD lets you mix and match two for just $5. And right now, any size iced coffee is only $1.89. Breakfast at McDonald's. That's the real winning deal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Let's qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
Hey, it's George Karloftis. The Chiefs Radio Network pregame show starts 3 hours before kickoff right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, I want to read this tweet to you guys. And if you think my theory is right or wrong, 913-586-7965. This is from Jeremy Fowler of ESPN. Are we allowed to call him friend of the show?
He was at one point definitely a friend.
Yeah, and then he got poached by the enemy.
Then he got paid to be our enemy.
Yeah, he got poached by the enemy. That's because they heard him on our show, and then they wanted to take him. That's how they roll over there. So this is from Jeremy Fowler. Underrated aspect of the Chiefs falling flat this year, energy expended over the past 7 seasons. The Chiefs have played 81 games the last 4 years. Quote, they've just looked tired, one AFC executive told me. Now, this has been a theory that a lot of people have thrown out there, and I don't want to completely dismiss it. Yes, the Chiefs have played a lot of football. In fact, they have played 9 more games than the second-place team, and that's a lot of hits. That's a lot of wear and tear, a lot of travel, a lot of rehab, a lot of recovery. There's no question that that plays a factor into it. I think it's a little bit different than that. I think everything for the Chiefs was about the three-peat. I mentioned this last week. You know how confident you got to be to have a self-produced documentary? Basically, hey, we know we're winning the championship, so we want you guys to be here. We want you to be in the locker room. We want you to come to our homes. We want to chronicle all of this as we go out and make history. Every single thing last year about the Chiefs was getting to and winning another Super Bowl. We're making plans and doing all this stuff and parades and what's the championship celebration is going to be like. Every part of last season was about the three-peat and doing something that no team had ever done before. And then it was over. And it fell in a historic way. And I think the Chiefs have struggled since then in finding their why and what their purpose is. I think a lot of people thought, oh, well, they'll be just hungry to get back. What's the theme of this season? Think think about it. The first time the Chiefs had the run it back theme, right? They won the Super Bowl. Hey, we're going to come back and we're going to try to win 2 in a row. And that was something that everybody rallied around. They had a mantra. They had a theme. That matters to teams. I'm watching KU. It is clear what KU's theme is watching them. Hey, we got dogs this year. We didn't have dogs last year. So we're going to embody this. This is who we are. Who are the 2025 Chiefs? Because last year's Chiefs team was 2-time defending Super Bowl champion en route to winning a 3rd one. That's all they talked about. They talked about it on the stage at the end of the 2nd one. You're sitting there seeing Patrick Mahomes. He's holding his daughter. He's talking to Chris Jones. I want to win another championship. For 365 days, that was their only objective. That was their why. What was the Chiefs' why this year? They didn't have one. I think it was naive of us in a lot of different ways. But in this way, I think it was naive for us to think that they could get beat the way that they got beat in the Super Bowl and then pop up with the exact same energy. I think we're wrong to think that. The Eagles took something from them. They took something from them physically. They took something emotionally from them. They have never been the same since then. They got knocked out in front of everybody. We all think that Mike Tyson's the baddest man on the planet. I'm sorry. I've seen Mike Tyson get knocked out. There was this aura. There was this glow about Mike. But when I see you on the ground picking up your mouthpiece because you just got a 2-piece leg and thigh from Buster Douglas, I'm sorry. I don't view you as the same scary individual that I did before. That happened to the Chiefs. So I don't think it's that the Chiefs are tired. Sure, that might be part of it. I think the Chiefs this season really struggle to find their purpose. I think they really struggle to find their why. And I think it's easy to see the why for everybody else. The why was beating you. That's what the why was this year. The why was, well, we think the Chiefs is vulnerable, so it's our time now. That's what it is. The why was, well, we think we can win the division now. Denver looks hungry. The Chargers look hungry. Houston looks hungry. When's the last time you've seen a hungry Chiefs team? They look well fed to me. When's the last time that you felt the Chiefs were hungry? When's the last time you felt the Chiefs were pursuing something? In a music analogy, this is the artist that their first 2 albums were about trying to figure life out and how to make it. And then that 3rd album is, I have everything. That music doesn't sound nearly as good. I don't want to spin this like it's a positive. It's obviously not a positive. Their starting quarterback tore his ACL. This gives them that purpose. No one is picking them to win their division next year. Nobody. You can't really go into the season arrogant next year if you're the Chiefs. No, you're not the 3-time defending AFC championship, 5 times in the last 6 you've been to the Super Bowl. No, you're the team that missed the playoffs last year. That's who you are. You're the team that missed the playoffs, and teams beat you everywhere. They beat you in Brazil. They beat you in Dallas. They beat you in your place. It didn't matter. They beat you last year. You were the team that won 7 games last season. So all of that arrogance, I don't want to hear it. This gives them that purpose back. That's what I think they need. So maybe you guys disagree, and maybe you think that the games and the amount of time that they have played have just worn them down. And I don't think that's all the way far off. But I firmly believe the Chiefs lost their why, and I think they lost their purpose. And after they didn't get the one goal they had set out for themselves, I don't think they knew what to do. I think they were a man without a country, so to speak. Everything was about the three-peat. Everything was about being the champion and doing something that nobody had ever done before. They talked about it openly. Teams normally do the one game at a time. No. Last year was about we got to go to the Super Bowl and we got to win the Super Bowl. I don't know if they found it this season. They played like a team that didn't find it this season. Rob, where are you at? Do you think the Chiefs were just tired and worn out?
I like your theory, and I somewhat subscribe to it, but let me ask you this question about your theory. If that's true, isn't that an indictment on Brett Veach? Because if the run it back, we're going for a three-peat tour failed, you got to have a new want, a new desire, a new hunger, a new mantra. Doesn't new blood help, facilitate that? You could argue one of the reasons why the Run It Back tour failed is it was the same team. Now, they were a more successful team than this team, but it was the same team. You thought after failing to meet a three-peat, going for a year 4 was just going to work? Because if you put the roster that started against Philly on one side and the roster that started opening day of the Chiefs this year on the other side, it's going to look eerily similar. So isn't it on the GM, the coaching staff, the scouting department, the player personnel department to know, hey, this team was pushing so hard for a three-peat, they fell short. We have to find their why. Hey, one way we can do that is bringing in hungry players, guys who are looking for a thing. You made the KU basketball analogy. KU ran everyone out from last season. Now, some of it's graduation, some of it's whatever. But A.J. Storr and Rylan Griffin, I'm sorry, you got to go. You're not good enough. We have to change the energy.
And really quickly, and to go back to your point, I'm not saying he's their best player. Where's Melvin Council from? He's a JUCO kid who certainly knows what it's like to be without. He then has worked his way up from playing JUCO basketball in upstate New York to St. Bonaventure to one of the most important players at Kansas. You don't think that guy's hungry? Of course he is. When he scores a basket, the students start barking at him. That's what the Chiefs need. I'm asking the question. We watched him. When was the last time you thought the Chiefs were hungry? Because Frank Clark used to be hungry. Tyrann Mathieu used to be hungry. When was the last time that this team got mad, got angry? Because I saw a team that didn't have any of that fight yesterday in them. And I saw another team that is as equally as wounded and beat up as they were, came in and felt like they could push them around. We could talk more about that. I really think that the league saw the Chiefs get bullied, and I think everybody started taking note, and now everybody feels like they could do the exact same thing. Because I saw a Chargers team that didn't care it was cold outside. They didn't care that they were on the road. They came in to push the Chiefs around and succeeded in doing so. You used to never would think about you would do anything to antagonize the Chiefs or poke the bear. I saw the Chargers wave their finger in the Chiefs' face for 3 hours yesterday in the cold. And their quarterback has one arm. They don't have their starting left tackle, their starting right tackle. I saw a Chargers team look the Chiefs in the face and say, we are more physical than you, and we are going to prove that to you over the next 3 hours. And that is exactly what they did. We got time to take you guys' phone calls, 913-586-7965. We got time up until we have Mitch Holtz call into the show. He's going to be on the show coming up at the top of the next hour at 4 o'clock. So we got open phone lines for this 3 o'clock hour, 913-586-7965. I do want to talk to you guys about the mentality I saw from the Chargers yesterday. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance.
Financial services.
Insurance.
Financial services.
Now when I say nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide.
Is both.
Nationwide.
Is both.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
The world's largest sports book at your fingertips has arrived in Missouri. Circa Sports is sports betting the way it should be. With high app limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service, Circa Sports is better for the better. From football to basketball, college sports to pro, start betting like the pros in Missouri. Built for sports bettors by sports bettors. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Must be 21 or older. For problem gambling, call the Problem Gamblers Helpline at 1-800-522-4700.
The holidays are here, and so's the newest Academy Sports and Outdoors, right in your neighborhood. Score kids ride-ons that say, my 8-year-old's truck is nicer than mine. Grills and smokers that say, there is no wrong way to cook a turkey. And new Nike fleece hoodies that say, I keep it chill no matter the temp. Academy has all the legendary Christmas gifts your family wants at undefeatable prices, because here, fun can't lose. Win Christmas at your new Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Our Best Bank believes in the power of serving others.
That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest. We believe.
Thanks for calling the Holiday Gift Line from the Missouri Lottery. If you still have presents to buy, don't panic. Missouri Lottery Holiday Scratchers and Draw Games are perfect for everyone on your list 18 and over. And you don't even need a gift receipt. Happy holiday gifting from the Missouri Lottery. Play responsibly.
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This season, enjoy stress-free comfort with easy booking and trusted service from Anthony. Save up to $4,500 on a new high-efficiency HVAC system. Schedule today at anthonyphce.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Good afternoon. We've got the crash still working 435 northbound on the ramp to 70 eastbound. Be prepared to tap your brakes. Move to the left. It'll get through there a little bit easier. And then we've got a crash 35 northbound just past 119th. Move to the left through there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Trent McDuffie from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
So for those of you just tuning in, we got time to take your phone calls. So if you want to call in right now, we will take as many calls as we can. 913-586-7965. So what we have been talking about in this segment is a tweet by Jeremy Fowler. He tweeted this out: an underrated aspect of the Chiefs falling flat this year is the energy they've used over the last 7 years. The Chiefs have played 81 games the last 4 years. Quote, they've just looked tired, one AFC executive told me. There is obviously some truth to that, and I don't want to completely diminish it. I also think there is another part of it. I think the Chiefs struggle to find their why this year. I don't think the Chiefs are hungry right now, and I think the Chiefs have to get that back and or find their purpose. And one thing that I saw yesterday that I think we've kind of seen over the course of the season is, do you guys remember, this was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, that there was this belief that there was a blueprint in how to beat the Chiefs. You remember this, Rob? We've heard this a couple of times, but you remember there was this saying that, well, if you had to use a too high safety look or a cover 2 look, it would confuse Mahomes. That we were talking about this cover 2 defense like it had just been discovered in the National Football League, like Tampa Bay wasn't doing this in the early 2000s. You remember this? I do think the blueprint was out on how to beat Kansas City. I think Philadelphia showed you that. I think Philadelphia just beat Kansas City up and beat them up in a way in which they didn't feel comfortable and they eventually folded. And I think if you're another team in the NFL and you see that, I think you feel like we got the guys to do that too. Because what I saw the Chargers do was very, very similar. Someone tweeted this in. See that, but the Chargers didn't care about anything. Dude, they didn't even care about the rules of a game. It's a fight. That's what football is. It is a fight. It is physical. In all of the glamorized that we talk about football, football at its core will always be, we think the guys on our side can beat up the guys on your side. We think that we are the more physical unit, and we are going to prove that to you over the course of the next 3 hours. So even if you don't think that you are the more talented team, if you can be the more physical team, that is a way that you can win the game. The Chargers are missing a lot of pieces just like the Chiefs are. They're getting guys back. They didn't have one of their starting wide receivers yesterday. They didn't have their left tackle, didn't have their right tackle. Their quarterback is playing with a broken arm. They're beat up too. They went in there with the mentality of, we came prepared for a fight. And yeah, they were hitting you under the bell, and when the ref would tell you to break it up, they get a little pot shot in. It's a fight. It's physical. And I firmly believe the blueprint that Philadelphia showed you last year on just body blows after body blows, we think eventually the Chiefs will fold. I think you started to see teams feel like they could do the exact same thing. That's what Denver did to them. That's what Philadelphia did in the second game of the season. That's what Houston did last week. That's what the Chargers did. I think the Chargers feel like they can bully you, and they did. Think about all the things we said. Oh, man, warm weather team, Monday Night Football, overtime, coming on the road. No chance. It was like once the Chargers got that touchdown at the end of the first half, it was like something activated in them. Oh, we got this. We got this. We're better than they are. And yeah, they pushed you around and they did some dirty stuff over the course of the game. No question. The Chargers came prepared for a fight. And they were not going to lose the fight. And they won. Got to tip your cap to the Chargers. That's a Harbaugh thing. That's a toughness thing. We haven't seen the Chargers like that before. We've seen the Chargers fold for the most part over the course of the last 5-6 years or so. But that's a team that knew they could run the football against the Chiefs and knew that the Chiefs offense couldn't do anything with their defense. So, yeah, we're going to hit you. We're going to do all these things. We came here to break you. I give the Chargers credit for this. We've seen a lot of teams play around with the Chiefs when they had them down over the last 5-6 years or so. Rob, how many times do you think you and I have made the Zombieland comparison with the Chiefs about how you got to double tap the Chiefs? Chiefs fans, come on now. You know you've seen this before. The Chiefs look down, the Chiefs look dazed, and a team doesn't do something, and then the Chiefs just get enough time to figure it out, and they win the game, and then we make fun and mock the other team. Man, this was the first time that a team had the Chiefs down on the ground and had a chance to end them, and they pounded the Chiefs into submission in the second half of that game. They pounded them into submission. The Chiefs were a 5.5, 6-point favorite in this game. 5.5. And the Chargers just went out there and dominated them. Dominated them. That's at least what I saw. I'm serious. That's what I saw. I saw a team that came out there, we're going to be more physical than you are, and we don't think that you can do anything about it. I think the word is out on the Chiefs. I think we've known this for about a month now. Someone on the text line makes the point. I 100% agree with them. Whenever Sean Payton said that we think the Chiefs are a first-half team, I think he was communicating how the league feels about the Chiefs. And if you think about it, since that moment, the Chiefs have had a chance to win every single one of these games and have folded in the second half of these games. They folded against Buffalo. They folded against Dallas. They folded against Houston. They folded yesterday against the Los Angeles Chargers. I can't think of a more disrespectful thing to say about a team other than we don't think they're a second half team. And then went out and proved it against them. So that's why I am. That's my theory. I really think that the Chargers felt like they could come in and bully Kansas City and push them around and push them around. That's exactly what they accomplished.
I 100% agree with you. Now, we agree. I don't think the Chargers played they're not going to send that game to the NFL office and be like, look, clean, crisp, no flags, perfect football, clean as a whistle. The Chargers didn't do that. They played, at times, dirty football. I have no doubt about that. But it was, we're going to bully you for 4 quarters. Do you remember when the Chiefs were like the Chiefs? And it was, Frank Clark would always say this on the sideline. We've seen it on NFL films, The Kingdom, wherever. There's blood in the water, and that D-line would do it. But it felt like the whole team had that mentality. They would just start scoring on you. And it was dizzying, and you couldn't keep up. And you look, the blink of an eye, you went from 7-3 to it was 27-3. What happened? How did we get here? I feel like the NFL started having that mantra toward the Chiefs. There's blood in the water. The Eagles have shown us, if you flex on them, if you play more physical than them, and you break their little finesse ability, they break. Play tough man-to-man defense, dominate the line of scrimmage, the Chiefs have no answers. And we have seen that story over and over and over again this year. The Chargers did it. The Texans did it. The Broncos did it. Like, we can name all the losses. The book was out. It was play man-to-man defense, bully them at the line of scrimmage, and beg the Chiefs to be in a street fight for 4 quarters. The Chiefs don't want to be in a street fight. The Chiefs want to play finesse, fun, it's aesthetically pleasing football. They don't want to be in a fist fight for 4 quarters. And that's what Sean Payton was saying, and that's what every team that has beaten the Chiefs has done this year. Hey, we're going to be physical for all 4 quarters. We don't care if you run a little ring around the rosy play. That's cute. We're punching you in the mouth for 4 quarters. And that's what we saw yesterday. And again, I do think the Chargers played an element of dirty football, but that's just the mantra on the Chiefs. Test them physically, and they will break.
Yeah, text line 913-586-7965. Someone on the text line says, I don't know how you can say that. This game was a 16-13 kind of game. Patrick Mahomes threw for 189 yards in this game and didn't throw a touchdown for back-to-back games. The Chiefs ran the ball 21 times and got 49 yards. I don't think the Chargers are very good offensively. I don't think this was an offensive push around by the Los Angeles Chargers. I think their defense pushed the Chiefs around. And I would say their defense pushed them around for basically the final 45 minutes of the game. Chiefs didn't score in the second half of this game. The Chiefs got an opening touchdown drive that was an easy up and down. That's one of the better drives that we've seen the Chiefs have. And then the Chargers just commenced to just pounded them, I think, after that from a defensive perspective. I mean, the Chargers offense is clearly broken right now. They didn't have Quentin Johnston. Their quarterback is very injured right now, in my opinion, and their offensive line is beat up. Last week against the Texans, Patrick Mahomes completed less than 50% of his passes through 160 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and they got 22 carries for 60 yards from their running back. If that's not a defense dominating you, I don't know what is. That's 100% being dominated, in my opinion. So, yeah, the Houston didn't dominate them with their offense. Their defense dominated them, in my opinion.
Maybe this is just how I felt watching the game, and maybe I'm using the advantage of hindsight 2020. It felt like the minute the Chargers scored right before half, any point, the fact it was a touchdown was huge. But it felt like the minute the Chargers scored before half, they had a thought of, oh, we got them. Ball game. It felt like the Chargers knew, hey, now that it's a tight game and we have a whole second half ahead of us, we got the Chiefs right where we want them. And that touchdown, you could see it on the faces of the defensive players. I think that touchdown's Dave Tobe's fault. That's not here nor there. Like, it felt like the Chargers scoring right before half was a sign, we have you now. We're going to beat you. The score didn't say it, but that's how it felt in that moment.
Text line 913-586-7965. The thing about the Chargers is, like, I don't want anyone to think that I, like, really believe in this Chargers team. I think the Chargers have kind of shown us what they are. I think they're going to be I think they're a good team and are going to be a difficult out. I think they're probably too injured, I think, to make a pretty legitimate run this season. But I do think you have to give the Chargers some credit. Man, the Chargers have had some significant injuries this year and are 10-4 with a schedule that's pretty comparable to the one that the Chiefs have. They didn't have their starting left tackle from day one. Remember, he had the non-contact injury. They haven't had Joe Alt. They spent the top 10 pick on their right tackle. They didn't have their starting running back for about 6 weeks this season. Justin Herbert has a broken bone in his non-throwing hand. Like, this is a different Chargers team that I think we've seen over the course of the last couple years. Now, what is that going to mean? What is it going to equate to? We'll see what happens when it comes to the playoffs. But to me, you do got to tip your cap to this Chargers team and them finding ways to figure out and win the way that they've done it. For you to beat Kansas City and Philadelphia in back-to-back weeks, it is impressive to me the way that they have done it. It was impressive to me the way that they did it in overtime and a turnaround on a short week on the road in the cold when it's 15 degrees outside and hold Kansas City to 13 points offensively. The Chargers get some credit for me.
I 100% agree with you. I remember, and this was not just one texter or one person we saw on social media. There was a sentiment going into this game that, hey, the Chargers are from LA, the Chargers are beat up, the Chargers are on a short week, the Chargers are playing in the frigid cold, the Chiefs are going to out-tough the Chargers, and they're not going to be able to hang because of all the elements. And I remember we were in the back, and Speck kept saying it. All the things are pushing against the Chargers, the cold, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Man, it felt like one team was up against the elements, up against short week, up against everything, and the other team was the Chargers. Someone on the text line made this point. The Chiefs don't play like a team that has a ton of heart right now. It looked like one team was hungrier, had more heart, whatever team you want to use. It looked like one team was, this is what we do, and the other team was shocked that no one folded over. The Chargers had every reason to just buckle by the time they got into Arrowhead, and they didn't. And it seemed like in the second half, the Chiefs kind of did. They were futile offensively. And defensively, I mean, it was just a slog at times. It felt like the Chargers of old lose that game 31-10, and that's not what Jim Harbaugh's Chargers are.
I don't want to spend too much time talking about this today because we're going to have enough time to talk about it. Is the Rashee Rice paying conversation, is that conversation over? I'm just saying, this offseason, it is going to come up. We are going to see some report, some bit of information. I mean, it's going to be time at the end of this season. It's the end of his third season. He's entering the final year of a contract. I mean, we're going to have an in-depth conversation about Rashee Rice. Is everybody on my side now when it comes to Rashee Rice, and there's no reason to rush to do this, and let's just wait to see how his final season plays itself out before we have this conversation? Is everybody on that side now?
I wonder now.
Because you remember, a lot of people were arguing the other side of you don't want to wait and all those kind of things, and I was just saying, why not make them earn it? Why not just see how the next season goes? I just want to know now, are we at the point where everybody's going to be at the same point of it would be a terrible mistake for the Chiefs to give Rashee Rice a contract this offseason. If you got to franchise tag him in 2 years, fine. I'm fine with doing that. It would be one of the bigger mistakes they can make this offseason if they give Rashee Rice a long-term contract extension.
I don't disagree. And like I said, we're going to have a lot of offseason. We're going to have more offseason this year than any year I've ever worked here. So we'll have time to talk about this. But if you're not going to pay him, why not just trade him? Why not eject? Because it wasn't like Rashee Rice looked like a top 10 wide receiver yesterday. No one confused him for Jerry Rice in his prime. If you are of the belief that he's either got to earn it or we'll just use all that rookie contract and move on, why not try to get something back for him? Why not do what they do with L'Jarius Sneed? Why not do that? That's a conversation.
Well, to be fair, with
Sneed's health, it changes the calculus.
And they let Sneed finish out his contract. That's what I'm saying is.
No, he was going into the final. He was going in. Now
he got tagged.
He got tagged. You're right.
Sneed got tagged. That's what I'm saying is with. That's what I'm saying with Rice is there's no reason to do anything with Rashee Rice at the end of the season. You are not getting a first or a second round pick for Rashee Rice heading into the final year of his career. Because all of the things that would lead for you not to pay him, I would also understand why another team wouldn't want to rush into that kind of financial commitment. Next year, Rashee Rice is going to make $1.5 million next season. He's absolutely worth that for next year. So you don't have to do anything. He's not holding out. He's not changing teams. Don't do anything. Just tell him, come to work, earn your salary, and see how next year goes. You're going to have a backup quarterback, maybe, possibly, for the first month of the season.
Probably.
Now, let's see. And let's see what happens. My only stance with Rashee Rice is let him go have the 75 catches, 1,200-yard season, and then we can have the conversation about paying him. But after seeing him these last 2 weeks against the Chargers defense and the Texans defense, this shouldn't even be a conversation in February. We should not be spending time on February 9th talking about what should an extension look like for Rashee Rice, because the answer is none. I wouldn't give Rashee Rice $1 more than he is scheduled to get for next season. Nothing.
I think I agree with you. I think I would be team trade him and get out early, because the earlier you can trade him, the better. But we were on the same page conceptually. It is not a conversation this show is going to entertain about giving him an extension. And if we get a breaking news alert in February or March that the Chiefs did, I will be frustrated with the Chiefs for extending Rashee Rice.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to be joined by Mitch Holtz, voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. Mitch Holtz is going to be on the show coming up at 4 o'clock. If you missed it earlier today on the show, we had Dr. David Chow. He is at Pro Football Doc on Twitter. Here's Dr. David Chow. He's not ruling out the possibility that Mahomes could play week 1 next season.
I think there's a reasonable chance that he could be ready for the start of next season, but more from the pocket and less dynamic, right? And the reason why Kyler Murray didn't return until November, and yes, it is common to go on PUP coming off an ACL this late in the year, and Micah Parsons likely will be on PUP because guess what? You have to be more dynamic to be a pass rusher. Patrick Mahomes is a dynamic quarterback, but we did see yesterday a very non-dynamic quarterback, my friend Phillip Rivers, almost sneak out a win. So there's different levels of quarterback play and types of play. So because of that, I think there's a chance he could be ready the start of the season. Kyler Murray wasn't ready because Kyler Murray needs the dynamic side. Just the pure pocket Kyler Murray isn't good enough.
I mean, I'll be surprised if Patrick Mahomes plays week 1 of the NFL season. We obviously got a lot of time to talk about it between now and then. He hasn't even had surgery yet. He's just going to Dallas to get a second opinion on things. But I'm guessing at some point between now and next Sunday, I believe that Patrick Mahomes is going to have surgery. And then we will start to have a realistic timeline of what that looks like for him. How I would probably handle it, just as we are, 24 hours removed from the injury. How I would probably handle it if I'm Mahomes is he'd be on the PUP list at the very beginning of the season, where he's out for the first 4 games of the year. He can be at the facility, you get a chance to be around him and see all those things, and then you can evaluate it after the first 4 weeks of the season where he is. Now, maybe things just go incredible this offseason, and he is way ahead of schedule. But I would just buy yourself a little bit of time, knowing how important he is and the injury that we are talking about. I would probably put Patrick Mahomes on the PUP list from the very beginning of the season, and then you can just always evaluate it and monitor it and see how things go. And if you got to take him off the list, and you can take him off the list. But I would just say, based on this, I don't know why you wouldn't at least have him on the PUP list to start training camp, and then, again, you can remove him later whenever you feel the need to.
I will be saying this all offseason. Now, there's a lot of new data that will come in, all the things. It will be better to be safe than sorry with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, we know from every documentary, whether it be the quarterback one on Netflix, whether it be the Kingdom one on ESPN, anytime we get a glimpse into Patrick Mahomes' life, you know what we learned? He might be the most competitive person I've ever come in contact with. Eric Bieniemy called him a competitive prick. Like, he is going to do everything in his power to be ready for week 1. I have no doubt about it. But if I'm the Chiefs, I might protect Pat from himself. Hey, how close to 100% are you right now? I'm at 95. We'll wait the extra 5. Hey, it's the start of training camp. It's July in St. Joe. Where are you at health-wise? Oh, I'm at 85%. PUP. You will throw in shorts and a T-shirt. You're not putting pads on. It will be better to be safe than sorry with Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. If that means you want to call me overly cautious or whatever, I don't care. But rushing Mahomes back, whether it's because he says he's ready or you think you don't have any other options or whatever have you, is a problem for this organization in 2027, 28, 29, and 30. You have to be forward thinking. So cautious will be how I handle Patrick Mahomes this offseason, and I will bring in a viable backup to cover until he's ready. I'm happy Dr. Chow said it's possible he's ready by week 1, but he's also saying he's not truly Patrick Mahomes in week 1, so I don't want to see a quarterback who's a shell of himself just to be out there.
Someone on the text line asked this question. We're talking about Rashee Rice. C-Dot, what do you think Rashee Rice would get in a trade this offseason? I don't know why you would trade more for Rashee Rice than what you could have got George Pickens for last year. George Pickens was traded for a 2026 third-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick. To me, that's what you probably get. You get a third-round pick and a fifth-round pick, I think, for Rashee Rice. I mean, maybe a little bit less because I think Pickens is a better receiver than Rashee Rice. I think he was even before this season. Now it's not even a question on who the better receiver is. I just don't think you need to do anything with Rashee Rice. Like, I would just let him play out the year, and you have the ability to franchise tag him at the end of the year if you feel like you need to do that. I would just let him play out this season. I'm certainly not trading him for a third-round pick. We spent a second-round pick on him. And we also think our quarterback's going to be back at some point in 2026. So if we go make a move in free agency, like the preparation for the Chiefs needs to be, what do we need to do heading into Halloween and as we get to November where Mahomes is back, he's healthy, he's right, and we've got our pieces in place so we can make a run in the second half of the season. So I'm not interested in trading Rashee Rice this offseason. Come back. You're going to play last year in your rookie contract, and we'll see how things go from there. That's how I would play it. But to answer the question, I wouldn't trade for more than what George Pickens got to go get Rashee Rice. A third-round pick and a fifth-round pick is what George Pickens got traded for. I would say that's probably the template for what Rashee Rice could get moved for. Coming up at the top of the hour, Mitch Holtz is going to join us. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
FanDuel is the #1 sportsbook for same-game parlays, from points, rebounds, three-pointers, assists, and so much more. FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat line live, all in an easy-to-use, one-stop shop app. And right now is the perfect time to join because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players that you love the way that you want. Head over to FanDuel and use my promo code FanDuel.com/KFNZ to sign up today. FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat line live, all in an easy-to-use, one-stop shop app. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued with nominal drawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after street restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Get up with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit KSGamblingHelp.com.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more.
I completely agree. You are worth more, and your car's worth more, and we want to pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com for good cars, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
This is it, the moment you've been waiting for. Saturday, December 27th at Harris, Kansas City, Fortune takes center stage. Every 5 minutes from 2:40 p.m. to 10:55 p.m., we're dishing out $1,000 in free casino play, fueling the excitement all day long. But wait, there's more. At 11 o'clock, the spotlight shines on one lucky winner who will claim $25,000 in cash. Are you ready to win big? Only at Harris, Kansas City, where the luck is all yours. 21 and older to gamble, know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Kansas City, this is Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. I cannot believe it. It's time to wrap up the year. And folks, I'll just say this. At Victory, we plan on finishing the year strong. To do so, I need your support. And in return, I'm going to offer you the nation's best deal on a new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram product. In fact, if you can find a better price on a comparable vehicle anywhere in the U.S., I'll beat it by $500. Business owners, truck drivers, family vehicle seekers, December's incentive packages include deals for everyone. There are so many offers available for December, I can't possibly promote them all. So I've made it easy. Simply visit VictoryMotorsKC.com and click on the conveniently placed year-end specials banner right on the homepage. You'll go straight to deals like this. Ram 2500 heavy duty starting at $36,988. New 2025 Jeep Compass Limited starting at $28,830. And an unbelievable $17,000 off on new Jeep Wrangler Rubicons. Someone needs to come purchase this iconic Jeep today and have instant equity. Stop by the Legends Auto Plaza or visit us at VictoryMotorsKC.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Great news, Nick.
Legacy boxes are still in stock. With Christmas just around the corner, there's still time to buy the best Christmas gift ever. Legacy Box.
That's right, Adam. Order today and Legacy Box ships immediately. It'll arrive ready to wrap and place under the tree.
Gather the family together this Christmas and collect all your old VHS and camcorder tapes, slides, pictures, and film reels. Then you can binge on the good old days.
From fading over time to risks like fire and water damage, your memories aren't protected unless they're on a digital format. Legacy Box helps you replay those great moments from the past, from Christmas morning to your wedding day.
Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box.
This Christmas is the time to digitize. Visit legacybox.com/value for exclusive holiday savings. That's legacybox.com/value for last-minute shopping. legacybox.com/value.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Peters Clothiers. We're still working the crash 435 northbound on the ramp to 70 eastbound. You will have to tap your brakes through here. Left lane is where you want to be. Right lane, there's at least one right lane closed. Hey, men, you need to look great for holiday events, right? Let Peters Clothiers give you the perfect fit you're looking for, from sportswear to suits and sport coats and sizes to fit every man. PetersClothiers.com, or stop in today at 124th and State Line. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
All right, I want to read this text really quickly. We got some time to take some phone calls if people want to call in. 913-586-7965. We got Mitch Holtz set to join us coming up in about 15 minutes. We got a little time right here. Someone just texted this in. C-Dot, why do we continue to talk as if Mahomes is going to miss any snaps next year? This is an 8-month injury for a lazy player and not a world-class athlete. So I was reading during the break, just trying to get just different teams and how they kind of handle this. So this is a story right now that was written about the Green Bay Packers because Micah Parsons has a torn ACL. They tore it on the same day, Mahomes and Micah Parsons. So this is right now on ESPN.com. Oh, goodness, of course, the thing would crash right as I was about to read it. All right, here it goes. Given the timetable for most ACL recoveries, it is possible that Parsons will miss games to start next season. The Packers typically hold players out for 10 months following ACL surgery. This year, they had a receiver, Christian Watson, who returned to game action 294 days after his ACL tear. A similar timeline would put Micah Parsons back on the field in early October next season, meaning that he could miss at least the first 4 games of the season. I am not a doctor. I have absolutely no clue. And I'm guessing that we are going to spend a lot of time talking to doctors and people that do know over the course of the next 6 to 8 months to try to figure things out. I guess more than anything, I don't want it to be painted like it is a disappointment if Patrick Mahomes is not playing in week 1 of the NFL season, just because I would say that is a very aggressive timeline and is by far and away the best case scenario. Like, if you were telling me that Patrick Mahomes got hurt, basically when the Chiefs got eliminated, they're done. They can't do anything in the postseason. Doesn't matter if they win or lose these games. And then he comes back right when they start playing meaningful games. I would say you have just created the best possible outcome when it comes to this injury. Maybe that's what happened, but maybe it doesn't. I think a more realistic timeline is this one. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to play next year. I don't think we need to be having the conversation, well, what if he misses next year? He's not going to miss all of next season. I don't think the injury is that. I just think thinking that it's an 8-month injury and that he's going to be participating in full in training camp is a very lofty expectation. I think Patrick Mahomes will play at some point next October. I can't tell you if it's week 5, week 7. I don't know. But if you ask me right now, hey, what's your guess based on what you heard, realistic? I think it's realistic to think that Patrick Mahomes can play sometime in October. So one of the things that the Chiefs need to figure out next year is you obviously can still make the playoffs. You can obviously still win the division. You can still win the Super Bowl with that timeline. What do the Chiefs need to do in their first potential 2 to 6 games of the season to put themselves in a spot that when they do get their starting quarterback back, let's say it's 5 games, that you're 3-2 in that scenario, you're not out of anything, and then he's ready to go, you're ready to go as an organization, and then you can push towards trying to win the division and get back to the postseason. So I'm just trying to create a realistic timeline. I'm not here to rain on anybody's parade. It's in everybody's best interest for Mahomes to get back on the field sooner rather than later. I just think a week 1 expectation is just a very accelerated timeline. And the one thing I don't want with Patrick Mahomes is an accelerated timeline of when he can get back on the field. I just don't think it's necessary. I think you can get by in the first month of the season without having Patrick Mahomes. He comes back on October 11th. And he misses the first 4 to 6 weeks of the season, and he's ready to go down the stretch when you feel like you got a shot.
I'd much rather him be 100% playing his first game in October than 92% playing in week 1. And we both know Patrick Mahomes. Like I said, we get a glimpse into his personal life. He signs up for a lot of documentaries, which is great. You know how hard he works, how much work he puts into keeping his body right. We know about all those things, Patrick Mahomes. So there's no doubt in my mind that right now in the Mahomes household, or the Mahomes playing down to Dallas to get the second opinion, or in Dallas, wherever he is treating it like, I have 8 months, I'll be ready to go. He is that level of competitor. But I think without any knowledge of how the surgery went, who's doing the surgery, when's the surgery, the rehab, we don't have any of that information yet. But without any of that information, if I'm the Chiefs, I am going to play it cautious with him because setbacks or problems on the field only make matters worse for next season and beyond. You kind of have to protect Pat from Pat here because we both know how hard he is going to work to be ready for week 1. And if he's not at 100% full go, no doubt, don't treat week 1 like it's the Super Bowl. Don't treat week 1 like it's the postseason and it's the Bengals game and he can hobble around out there. Don't do that. Make sure he is 100% ready and play him then. And if that's September 15th, September 1st, October 1st, or October 15th, I don't care. But I don't want him playing a meaningful snap of Chiefs football until he is 100% recovered and through the rehab process and feels comfortable playing football again, which is another step along the way. So cautious will be where I'm going to fall in Patrick Mahomes' rehab facility.
So someone just sent this in. CDOT, the timeline that you just read is based on, quote, re-tear rates. We know that at 8 months, the rate that you have to re-tear your ACL is at a certain percentage, while when it gets to around 10 months, it is at a near 0 risk of re-tear. Then it needs to be a 10-month injury then. Then it's a 10-month injury then. What I don't want to do now with this injury is, for the last 9 years, we have had this belief that these September games are not the end-all, be-all. Now the expectation is to rush Patrick Mahomes to play in these September football games? When have we ever reacted to week 1 or week 2 of the NFL season? So I don't now want to do this with Mahomes. So maybe Mahomes can play in week 1 of the NFL season. If he's healthy enough and can go and you feel like he can do all of those things, then sure, have him out there. I'm not against holding out healthy football players. No, go out there and play. But I just think we got to set a realistic expectation on when can he come back and be Pat. I'm not interested in just Patrick Mahomes coming back for week 2 for the sake of playing. No, you need to be the same player that we all know. Can you still run? Can you still scramble? Do you trust your knee? So to me, it's not just about getting healthy physically. It's the mental part of this too, Rob.
I think there are a lot of factors at play. It's the mental, it's the health, it's the everything. And I understand why the text line is saying, I think he'll be ready by September. I'm sure Patrick Mahomes is telling everyone in his inner circle he'll be ready by September. That I have no doubt. I saw Micah Parsons tweet out a photo of a lion saying, see you September 1st. That is how athletes are wired. I have no doubt about it. But I much rather have a backup quarterback, insert a name, fill in a name here, Justin Fields, just putting a name there, be the guy for 3 weeks and have Patrick Mahomes at 1,000% trust, belief, cutting everything, than have him out there at even 99.9% because re-injuring, re-tearing, making things worse sets your franchise back far beyond just the one season.
Text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, he's going to be on your show this week. Why don't you just ask him his thoughts on when he'll be back? Patrick Mahomes will not be on the show anymore for the rest of the season. I'm telling you that right now.
This is a good time
I hope that's not you guys' expectation. The Chiefs told us that yesterday. I mean, I already knew that. He's hurt, so he's not. You can't talk to the media anyway when you're hurt. You will not hear from Patrick Mahomes again, at least not in that capacity. Maybe he does some sit down with like CBS maybe he does like a Good Morning America. No, Patrick Mahomes is not doing any more media availabilities for the foreseeable future. Coming up at the top of the hour, Mitch Holtz is going to join us on the show. We'll get his take on what happened yesterday at Arrowhead. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with C-Dot right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Heading into downtown, we've got 71 northbound just past 22nd. There's a 2-car crash blocking the right lane, so scoot to the left. Just prior to that, 71 northbound, the on-ramp from 29th. There's a problem, so very heavy in the area. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sports fans in Missouri can sign up for BetMGM using bonus code DUSTY and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet does not win. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day. Get into hockey, basketball, and pro football with features like live bets, same-game parlays, BetMGM rewards points, and surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. It's everything a sports fan could want in one app. BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sign up today using bonus code DUSTY to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Minimum deposit of $10 to participate. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Park & Go. Your holiday travel made easy with all covered airport parking.
Heading out of town for the holidays? Make travel easy with Park & Go. Enjoy all covered parking, free shuttles, and luggage help that'll have you feeling merry and bright. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Happy holidays from Park & Go.
The NFL season is rolling along, and you're starting to get a better feel on who's a contender and who's a pretender, and you can make all your predictions over at FanDuel. The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who you think is going to win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. And tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers 30% profit boost token. That's right. You can get in on the action for 30% profit boost on this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for every snap. So whether you want to bet who's going to win the game, who's going to score a touchdown, or who's going to score the first touchdown, you can do all that with our friends over at FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to bet on the game. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and also 96.5 The Fan.
21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Casino LLC. Gambling problem? Get out with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Tonight, the forecast calls for clear skies with a low of 30.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
This is Danon Hughes. In Kansas City football, we honor tradition, but we always look forward to what's next. That's why I'm all in for Flight by Yingling. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, but built for today. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp, clean, and full of flavor, just the way a light beer should be. It's got the legacy and the stats to back it up. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Danon Hughes. D.G. Yingling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth. Why not start today?
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here to tell you Rob Sight Ford is closing in on a record-setting year. And they're doing whatever it takes to get there.
That's right, Kevin. We're pulling out all the stops to finish the year strong. 0% for up to 66 months on most Ford models, including F-150s, Escapes, Explorers, Super Duties, and Transits. Top dollar trade-ins and pricing other dealers won't match.
If you've been waiting for the moment to buy, this is it. We've got the vehicles. We've got the deals. We just need one thing, you behind the wheel.
Impeccable rhyme, Kevin. But hey, this is simple, upfront, and easy, and it all ends January 5th.
Kansas City's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google. 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 reviews, and voted best car dealership in Kansas City by Kansas City Magazine. And now, we're going for the finish line. Rob Sight Ford. Buy right with Rob Sight.
135th and State Line or ROBSIGHT.com. You want inventory, you want price, you want more for your trade, let's make it happen.
End the year in a Ford before this event drives off.
Hey, it's Cody and Gold telling you about our friends over at Centric, where your career in tech can start. Just take it from Becky, who's in charge of student success.
Hi, I'm Becky Sears, Student Success Advisor at Centric. My role is really about supporting students, whether that's with their coursework, time management, or just learning to be a student again. I'm here to help students succeed every step of the way.
Over 1,800 companies have hired Centric grads, a 95% student retention rate in 2024, and an 18-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio. Find out more. Go to Centric.com and talk to our buddy Russ.
Hey, football fans, tune in this week to kick off with Boomer and Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL. Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by the Home Depot. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
This season, enjoy stress-free comfort with easy booking and trusted service from Anthony. Save up to $4,500 on a new high-efficiency HVAC system. Schedule today at anthonyphce.com.
What's up, Kansas City? It's Nick Bolton. Tune in on game days to hear the play-by-play with Mitch, Danon, and Clean on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. From Montana to Mahomes, his call has been synonymous with Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
He's the voice of the Chiefs kingdom, and he joins The Drive every Monday at 4.
You can't doubt the Chiefs! You can dislike the Chiefs! You can disrespect the Chiefs! You're gonna have to deal with the Chiefs!
Here's Mitch Holtz.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Mitch Holtz. He is brought to you by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association Incorporated, and also by Silverstein Eye Center. Achieve your best vision and experience outstanding patient care at Silverstein Eye Centers. Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by the voice of the Chiefs. Mitch Holtz joins us on the show today. Mitch, happy to have you pop on with us today.
Yeah, C-Don, good to be with you, even under these circumstances. I don't know if it's a long night or short night or whatever, not much sleep night, but still, we press on. In 32 years in this league, you deal with a little bit of everything, and so yesterday's game and then Pat having the ACL tear, lot to stack on there, but we'll move on, and we've got a good segment tonight with Coach leading up to Bolt after him.
So let's just start with this, Mitch, because you are very, very good at painting the scene. You have seen Arrowhead at the highest of highs. You have seen Arrowhead very down. How would you describe the mood and atmosphere around Arrowhead? Because it wasn't just Pat's injuries. It felt like for about an hour stretch, it was Jalen Watson, it was Chris Jones, it was Nick Bolton for a time. It just felt like everything that could go wrong did go wrong for the Chiefs, especially in that second half yesterday.
To me, it was stretching the rubber band, just kept stretching it and stretching it and stretching it. We've got two guys at the show tonight, Travis Holdeman and Kevin Swain from High Plains Farm Credit. They're involved in agriculture throughout the kingdom, and sometimes belts break on machinery. That's what this felt like. I just felt like there was been so much piled on these guys for a while here, and we've gone through the numbers. This isn't me making an excuse. You just kind of wondered. You keep stretching it and stretching it and stretching it, and then it snaps. It felt like yesterday it snapped just because of all of the late-night games and Monday nights on the road, Sunday nights on the road, playing 6 days a week, the only day not Tuesday, and doing it over a 2 to 3 to 4 year period. It just was taking on too much water. That's what it felt like to me. The rubber band finally broke, or the belt broke on the machinery.
That's interesting you say that, because we were talking about a tweet from Jeremy Fowler with ESPN, and he said that he talked to an AFC executive, and the quote was, "They just look tired." It sounds like that's the feeling that you have when it comes to this team, that for a team that has played 81 games in the last 4 years, and you use the analogy about the rubber band just breaking, you keep stretching and eventually it's going to pop. That's what it sounds like you think happened. This team has just been worn down for the amount of football that they've played over the last 4 seasons.
I don't think I'm wrong with this. Matt McMullen actually had the stat, and we've talked about it, but I think the Chiefs have set a record for the shortest offseason 3 years consecutively, or at least 2 of the last 3 years. And things have changed in the league. This is different than the Patriots run. The Patriots didn't have to play a 17th game against the best team in the NFC, and there are only one team getting a bye now in both conferences. And all of these games played on different days, the different streaming services. And they want the Chiefs. It was great. Hey, the Chiefs are in demand. They're in demand. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift and Patrick Mahomes is larger than life, and the Chiefs have this following. They still do. When you go on runs like this, you make fans for a lifetime. But to be asked to do what this team has been asked to do really over the last 2 to 3 years, and to do it in high-stress games, people have asked me, what's the difference? Because before Andy Reid got here, this is my 32nd year, there were 19 seasons before Andy Reid got here. And in those 19, no playoff wins. And there were a lot of losing seasons in there, or near 500 or 500 seasons. But then all of a sudden, Andy Reid shows up, and we're in the hunt every year. And we go on double-digit victories over a span of consecutive years. And people go, what's the difference? And here's the difference, CDOT. And I've noticed this even in doing what I do. Every play is a high-leverage play. And why is that? Because there's only one bye. Because you're playing the best schedule, and because there's just no wiggle room. You look at the Chargers schedule at this point, and I'm not gonna, it's not a critical point, but just go down and read their schedule. They've done an excellent job. They're 6-1 in one-possession games, but it's not the schedule the Chiefs have played, and the Chiefs have played it for 3 years. Everything matters from week 1 to week 18, and there's just so much pressure, it seems like, on every single snap, at least the way that's what it's felt like, especially since the Chiefs were chasing the back-to-back and got it. And then they were chasing the three-peat and missed it. And then they're going, keep it alive, get back, can you go back to another Super Bowl? And so it just has been a lot. And then finally, the roof caves in.
Right now, we're talking to the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, Mitch Holtz. Mitch, I'm not holding you to this, and I feel like everybody is kind of looking into their crystal ball of when they think that Patrick Mahomes can come back. I was reading a story earlier where it said the Packers kind of look at ACL injuries as being a 10-month injury because of what happened with Micah Parsons. So the expectation is that somewhere next October they would get back Micah Parsons. That's kind of what I think for Kansas City. I mean, I know that Mahomes is going to do everything he can to get back on the field, but it just feels to me like he starts the year on the PUP list, and then you can evaluate it from there. That I fully expect him to play at some point next season. I think playing in week 1 is a pretty lofty expectation.
I'm not going to speculate because here's what I've seen. And then Coach Reed gets into this a whole lot tonight. We taped his segment for tonight's show. And honestly, he was pretty candid and open, more than I thought he would be. And I love when he gets into the Monday night fireside chat mode. But he gets into this a lot more than he did during his presser. And that's tonight at about 10 past the hour at 6 o'clock Central Time. But I will say this. In seeing what's happened with ACL injuries, and I've had it in my own family. My wife was a Division I basketball player and had ACL. She's had several knee surgeries since. My daughter played college basketball. She had an ACL injury. Every person is different. The physiology is different with every single human being with an ACL injury. Now, I'm not an orthopedist, but I'm just going to tell you what I've noticed. You're different than me. Your recovery could be quicker than mine. Here's what Pat has. Pat has a pseudo-army, or his own hospital, kind of surrounding him, basically, with what he has with the Chiefs medical staff, the Chiefs athletic training staff led by Rick Burkhalter, the surgeon in Dallas and his staff, and the fact that his rehab infrastructure is probably better than most humans on the planet, because we've already seen his workout regimen. Well, that's just going to translate to a rehab. So to speculate, give any kind of timeline, to me, is you're throwing a dart at a dartboard. Because, again, every human's different. Patrick Mahomes is different. And rarely, very few people in our country are surrounded by this army of troops to help him get back as Patrick Mahomes. And then you got to look at his mentality, his demeanor, what he's about. And the guy is such I talked about him Friday in front of 700 attorneys in the Kansas City Metropolitan Bar Association. There's way more to Patrick Mahomes than we even talk about. Way more. And the kind of person he is unique. He's one of one. Take his stats and wins and all that out of the way, and his 3 Super Bowl rings. So that is in his corner. The fact that he will approach this with a tenacity that very few humans have. So it's physiology, it's medicine, it's technology, and it's his mentality. And all that put together, I'm not going to venture to guess when he'll be back, but he's going to be robust in trying to return.
I know we're looking ahead just a little bit, but you've called a lot of games in your career. Are you at least coming to grips maybe with the possibility that next Thursday is going to be your last time calling a Travis Kelce game at Arrowhead?
Well, I'm at the practice facility now, and I'm staring at a picture of him raising the Super Bowl trophy. I don't know which one this is, but yeah, I'm facing that. I thought it was last year. I got some hugs from him at the end of last year thinking, well, this is it. And then I think the Super Bowl just ended so rough that he's like, now let's go for it again. But yes, I'm thinking that. I will plan accordingly in my preparation for that. The guy's been an absolute warhorse. I would go to the Supreme Court and argue the case for Travis Kelce of being the most unique and most productive tight end in NFL history. Bring me Gronk. Bring me all of them. Bring me all of them. And we'll have an argument. And I'll have a pretty good case in front of the judge or judges or the Supreme Court. He's been phenomenal. And the fact that he has reacted in so many ways, it's his effect on a game when he's touched the ball or not touched the ball. I'll figure up his snap count, but it's over 12,000 snaps. And those are, think about pitchers when they throw, they talk about high leverage pitches. I talked about high leverage games. Every game for the Chiefs over the past 5 to 7 years has been a high leverage game because of what it could mean. Even in September, October, doesn't matter. Well, think about with Kelce, high leverage snaps. and it's not just 3rd down and 8, and he's got to go get a first down. It's blocking as a wham blocker out of a 3 tight end set, or he's just adding as an extra blocker, stays in to block for extra protection. Coach Reed and our team has asked Kelsey to do everything. He's not the spread out tight end guy that's now around the league. He's not the move tight end. This guy is everything. And if this is it at Arrowhead Stadium, I'm hoping that people treat it that way accordingly on Christmas and understand one of the greatest to ever walk the planet and play this game will be here one more time at least.
Right now, we're talking to Mitch Holtz, voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, here for a couple of more minutes. Mitch, I'll get you out of here with these 2 questions, and I do want to hear what you guys have planned coming up on Chiefs Kingdom. I'm sure these 2 things are going to happen to you. Let's break them up. Let's start with number 1. Someone's going to ask you what happened this year. What do you think happened this year? Everybody kind of has their own, this is why. You've kind of mentioned the wear and tear and the travel and all of those things. If you had to, someone comes up to you at Hy-Vee and says, man, what happened? Why did the Chiefs miss the playoffs of this season? What's your answer to them?
How much time do you have? You're off the air at what, 6 when I go on? That's not enough time. And one of these times I'll write a book, and I'll put it in there what I think happened this year. But the Cliff Notes version would be a lot of things. One, the schedule faced and how it, even 2 preseason games played in Seattle and Arizona at night. I don't even know why that happened. And to play 2 of them in a year where you got to go to Brazil in week 1, which was a brutal trip. I don't know if people have talked about the details of that. So that just gets you behind the 8 ball because you don't have a bye week after that to play the Eagles. That comes down to a close game. And I would say everybody's culpable. I think Coach Reed has said this, all 3 phases. If I looked at special teams, it would be the penalties in addition to the lack of explosiveness in the return game. We went through all that a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Chiefs haven't had a punt or kick return for a touchdown since 2020, but there weren't block kicks this year. And then to make it worse, there's blocks in the back, and now you're starting to drive at the 8-yard line. Then the injuries started to mount, especially at key spots. You didn't have Rashee Rice for the first 6 games. That's not an injury, it's a suspension. Then you have the gap where you lose Josh Simmons to personal reasons. Then the injuries start to happen. The rubber band starts to get stretched. And then the schedule just was relentless. Even your bye week, you had to go to Buffalo for a 3:25 game before the bye, and you went to Denver the week after the bye. So this sounds like excuses. They're not. But that's a schedule, particularly with the team kind of drained coming in. You're asking somebody to come off just around the 5,000 meters to get a drink of water and then go run the 10,000. That's what this feels like. So, and you've got a team that's older in some instances. Kelsey's 36. Chris Jones has played he's been around since 2016. Same thing with Kareem Hunt. And it's an older staff, too, in many cases. I mean, I'm not a spring chicken, but you don't rebound as quickly when you get home at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m., and then you go right to work. You're pulling all-nighters. You're having finals all throughout the semester. So to me, it's all of the above. I'm not making excuses. People can sit here and rip me all they want. I don't really care. I'm not in the mood because I'll come fighting back. That's my mood I'm in right now. But the point is you've got to be realistic in the way you looked at this season. It related to the season before, and the season before. Too much was piled on this team, and then it mounted up, and the bridge broke.
Mitch, one more question that I'm sure you're going to be asked as well. What changes do you think this team needs to make? Because 2 things that I think they need for this upcoming season. I'm not here to talk to you about any coaching changes or anything, but 2 changes that I think they need to make. To me, this team needs a bigger, more physical wide receiver that can beat man coverage. I think we're starting to see that's a weakness with the receivers that they have. They just need a Brandon Marshall type. They need a bigger 6'2", 6'3", a more physical wide receiver, and I think that could help open up their offense. And to me, they made some very critical mistakes in how they built the run game. over the last 2 games, in the 2 most important games of the year, they got 41 carries from their running backs for 101 yards. This team has to run the football effectively. You can't have a viable offense to me in 2025 if you don't run the football successfully. Every team that people like and thinks can make a deep run, they can run the football successfully. So 2 changes for me that I'm going to be pounding the drum this offseason is they need a bigger, more physical wide receiver, I think, to complement what they already have, and this team has to reinvest in the run game.
I think they also have to get realistic to what happened on 3rd down and long. I'm going to go through every play when I get time in the offseason, every one. There was way too many. The Chiefs, I think, are 31st or 30th in the league in 3rd and 6 or more conversions by the opponent. And too many games were at the cusp of the matter. Denver comes to mind, right? 3rd and 15 at their own 21. And you're going to give Pat the ball and a chance to win the game. The Charger game in Brazil, he got 3rd and 14, and Herbert scrambles and runs for 19. The Cowboys game on Thanksgiving, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, first down, touchdown. It just happened way too much. And so I think that is for the defensive staff, you're looking at personnel, scheme, and for Brett Veach, you're going to have to look at someone who's able to cover a break on the ball, not sacrificing run defense, but finding more kind of McDuffie types who'll play the run and the pass. But you got to get off the field in 3rd and long. It was a killer for this team, which is why I'm saying all 3 phases are culpable. I think on the offensive side, this offense, the bigger type wide receiver, if Kelsey's done, then the bigger type wide receiver may be, a skilled type tight end that you can flex and run those plays with. But this offense is right now been about all of the receivers can play all of the spots. X, Y, and Z, you play all of them. And so if you're talking about a DK Metcalf type receiver, Quentin Johnston type receiver, that's not been a part of this deal. Now your tight ends can be that way. And I talk about a move tight end. Well, maybe not a move tight end, but you're not going to replace Kelsey. He's one of one. But you look for a tight end who can be physical. You flex him. You get him singled out in plays like you're talking about. Now the running game, ever since Saquon Barkley went nuts last year, everybody's going, hey, now it's okay to take a running back in the 1st round. Because the year before Barkley, it's like you're stupid or I'm stupid if we take running backs in the 1st round or early rounds. You've got to get some explosiveness out of that position. That has got to be a play that you design for 8 and you get 18. Or you can run a screen and you well execute a screen and now it's 25 because the skill of the running back makes it the yards after contact. And we have seen that in the division. I mean, Denver's doing that. Not that they got running back issues with injuries, but the fact that the Murphy kid, I believe, anyway, you just got to get someone who's explosive there who can make what seems like just a regular play, a extraordinary play. And so to me, those are all things that are on the table. You hope you can get an offensive line pieced together pretty well. Depending on how Josh Simmons comes back, you get everybody else healthy. Esapole is going to be really interesting to watch. Now, he's never played right tackle. He's been a left tackle, but a very, very, very brief career. He is the focus of my Minute with Mitch this week on both radio and television and online, that you can still find dudes that aren't necessarily going to the Senior Bowl or in somebody's pro day or somebody's, the combine. And so if Pole becomes a factor or a guy you can put in there with Jalen Moore and you get Simmons back, your interior 3 could be good, then you've got a chance with an offensive line to be really good. You just have to get some explosive plays from the rest of your skill guys. And without Kelsey, you got to figure out at least a mitigating factor to go back in there to neutralize it somewhat or get the kind of receiver you're talking about.
Mitch, last thing here.
At tight end.
No, perfectly fine. Mitch, I know you got Chiefs Kingdom coming up today. You mentioned Nick Bolton's going to be on there. Where are you guys going to be? What do you have planned?
We're in Liberty tonight, one of my favorite locations. It's great. But we're going. Coach was really good today, really good. And it's been I'm sure he didn't get much sleep. She doesn't sleep much anyway, but probably zero sleep, especially with Pat's injury. But he really kind of lays things out. And I think people will want to listen to that. And then with having Nick Bolton there, Nick's great to have right now because the dialogue we'll have with him, he's got to be a leader, especially with Mahomes out. Someone has got to step up. Now, Nick's not, he's the green dot on defense, and Coach calls him the quarterback of the defense, and I get it. But they're Creed Humphrey, Nick Bolton, the class of 21. These guys have got to fill in the leadership void to press hard to try to beat Tennessee and move on to win the next two and try to win out and go 9-8. And don't tell me you want a draft pick and tank it. Don't even do that. Somebody comes up to me, I'll fight you all day. You do not do that because you don't turn that on and off. So you try to get a winning season, keep the streak of winning seasons alive, and then attack the off season right away. But that's where we're at tonight in Liberty on the Chiefs Kingdom show. It'll be fun.
Mitch, you're going to be surprised to hear me say this. I'm on the same side as you. I know a lot of people are going to be on the side of Team Tank. I'm firmly on the side of you go out there and you do everything you can to win these next 3 games.
I hate all the opting out. Now we got teams opting out of bowls, players opting out of bowls. Major League Baseball, you're down to maybe 5 teams by July the 15th because everybody else is going to tank it. We'll get more draft picks. Why? So you can tank it the next year and the next year? I mean, there's some strategy to develop your roster, but I've never seen anybody really go, hey, we just built our team based on tanking. Maybe people would say the Rams, but did they really tank? I mean, so don't talk to me about tanking. You'll kill a sport if you – and I'm worried about baseball because I just think teams give up, trade all their guys, and then they just start this cycle again. So anyway, I'm not a fan of the fan going, let's tank and get a pick. At 6-11, you're not going to get that more of a pick, I don't think, of being 9-8.
That is Mitch Holtz, voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, joining us on the show. His appearances are brought to you by GEHA and also Silverstein Eye Centers. Mitch, we appreciate you.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Rob, let's put a pin inside the tank conversation. We got a lot of time. I'm not really ready to have should they tank the rest of the way. I can go and tell you right now, I am not on board with the Chiefs tanking the rest of the way. You cannot sell me how losing to Tennessee is a good thing for the organization. If you want this organization to start playing good, some of the young guys, then I want to see Noel Williams go out there and play well. I want to see Brashard Smith go out there and play well. So playing well is winning in that scenario. So Mitch and I are on the same side. I know that will not be the popular stance potentially. Maybe you want them to just lose out the rest of the way and get the 11th overall pick. You can be fine getting the 17th overall pick and turning things around. Go out there, put a team together, and try to win. Let's have that for later in the week. All right, coming up on the other side, I am curious how you guys will answer this. Rob, people come up to you and recognize who you are. The number one question they'll ask you is, what happened with the Chiefs? Some of you are going to be watching TV with your wives, your girlfriend, and she's going to ask, what went wrong with the Chiefs this year? What is the answer you would give them? I'll tell you what my answer would be. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
I'm Mitch Holtz, voice of the Chiefs. Everyone develops cataracts naturally as they get older. When your vision is affected by cataracts, you should see my doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein at Silverstein Eye Centers. Dr. Silverstein is a world-renowned cataract surgeon who performs life-changing laser-assisted cataract surgery with premium lens implants to correct your vision up close and far away. Trust my eye doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein, Silverstein Eye Centers, 816-358-3600 to schedule an appointment.
Men, it's the holidays, the season of all kinds of hustle and bustle. But if your energy is down, if you aren't sleeping well, if your sex drive is MIA and you just don't feel like the guy you once were, maybe it's tough to get excited for all the holiday cheer. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if this sounds like you may have low testosterone. And if so, this is the season for you to get treated. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating low T. If you're like most guys, you'll feel the change in just a few weeks. And truly, the results can be life-changing. You'll have improved mental clarity, your energy will kick up, your workouts will be better, your sleep patterns will improve, and your sex drive will likely heat up as well. So call us and don't go through another season with low T. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
At GEHA, we stand behind our members with access to a network of nearly 600,000 providers. GEHA is proud to offer dental plans exclusively for federal employees, federal retirees, and military retirees. Visit GEHA.com to learn more.
Thanks for calling the Holiday Gift Line from the Missouri Lottery. If you still have presents to buy, don't panic. Missouri Lottery holiday scratchers and draw games are perfect for everyone on your list 18 and over. And you don't even need a gift receipt. Happy holiday gifting from the Missouri Lottery. Play responsibly.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/life.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where a small box with a burgundy bow will help you win the holidays. As an in-house designer, I love creating meaningful, fine jewelry gifts. Choose a necklace with a gorgeous infinity charm to symbolize your everlasting love. Or go for a personalized piece with an engraving, their zodiac sign, favorite color gemstone, or their initial accented with pave diamonds, because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Stop by or shop now at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Chiefs coverage this past hour has been brought to you by waysidewaves.org. Save a life this holiday season.
Wayside rescues thousands of animals each year. Your gift today provides a complete circle of life-saving care they need to heal and find loving homes. Donate today, and your gift will be matched. Visit waysidewaves.org to make your life-saving gift today.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Got a new crash downtown, 35 northbound just past 12th. Left lane is blocked, and we're still dealing with the crash, 71 northbound past 22nd. Right lane blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Someone just texted in. CDOT, now that the Chiefs are out, maybe we can get you out of here finally with your St. Louis hating ass. Our team made the playoffs this year. I can't speak for what they did. Rob, you and I made the playoffs this year. We're going to be here for a little bit. At least I'm going to be here, Rob. I don't know about you. We might need to make some changes.
I would consult management.
Your management.
I feel good about where I'm at.
Your management.
Last time I checked, the assistant program director here, big fan of Rob.
I got to consult management. It's funny. You got to ask yourself if you're going to be here. That was good. All right, so this is the question I want to know. 913-586-7965. This is the question that I have. If your wife came up to you, your girlfriend came up to you, or whomever, and asked you, hey, what happened with the Chiefs this year? What went wrong? What would your answer be? I have 3 things that I think went wrong with the Chiefs this year. You guys know I have been banging this drum all season. I will continue to bang this drum until it's answered. Their running game didn't give them a chance to have a great offense. When you cannot run the ball, it affects every single part of your offense. I am not letting the Chiefs off with this, well, Andy doesn't invest in the run game. You're telling me the same guy who had Deuce Staley, the same guy who had Brian Westbrook, the same guy who had Kareem Hunt, who had Jamal Charles, who had LaShawn McCoy, that guy doesn't see the importance in running the football? I think the Chiefs got arrogant. And I think the way that they did it with Damian Williams and the way that they did it with Spencer Ware and Charkandrick West, when they could just get by in the run game, I think the league started to change. And the emphasis on the run game started to change. And I think the Chiefs thought, well, we won the Super Bowl with this running game. Why can't we do it? And they've just let it get worse and worse every single season. So their lack of run game, to me, is their biggest problem with the offense. It's not at quarterback. They spend more than enough on offensive line. I don't even think they have a terrible wide receiver unit. You cannot run the ball, and you have no explosiveness in the run game. Mitch was talking about he needs a running back that can turn an 8-yard play into an 18-yard play. They don't get explosive plays from the run game. And we were sitting here patting Kareem Hunt on the back for 3.8 yards per carry. No, they need a running back to get you 4.7 yards per carry. They need somebody who's dangerous, who's a home run threat, and it will open up the rest of their offense. So that's number one to me. They let the run game go. Number two, I think they guessed wrong. They guessed wrong when it came to running back. We've already discussed that. They guessed wrong when it came to Charles Omenihu and Mike Dana. This team had problems, but what they did was they trusted the guys they've always trusted with those problems. When they needed pass rush, they went back to the same guys to get pass rush for. When they needed help stopping the run, they went back to it. Rob, at the trade deadline, they made one move. Who'd they go get?
At the deadline wasn't naughty.
Mike Pennell.
That's right.
They have a set. Hey, if this thing goes wrong, we should call them. Hey, when the run game goes wrong, call Clyde Edwards-Helaire. When you need pass rush, bring back Mike Dana. They need new phone numbers. I think they guessed wrong. I think the Chiefs realized they had problems and trusted the same people they always trust to fix those problems. Those people let you down. And the third thing is, I think the Chiefs just got to get back hungry. I think the same energy that the Chiefs had with Frank Clark and, hey, nobody believes in us talking, they need that guy on their team. They don't have that guy. That is not Patrick Mahomes' personality. That's not Travis Kelce's personality. That's not, they need Tyrann Mathieu type on their team. They need a Frank Clark type on their team. They need a dog. They need an alpha. They need that guy on their team. I think they let that person go, and they have to find that personality. They need somebody hungry on that team. And I think what you're seeing is a lot of people who got fat metaphorically over the last 3-4 seasons or so. We're going to College Game Day, and we're doing international tours, and we're just doing all of this other stuff. You got to find your fire. You got to find your desire. You got to find the drive. You got to find those things. And I think the Chiefs in some ways collectively lost those things over the last couple years. We're doing documentaries. We're doing a lot of other stuff. We got to get back to when it was simple. And I think they lost some side of that over the course of the last 12 months. You can realign yourself and get it back. And when their defense needed a little bit of bite back in 2019, they went out and they found two of those kind of people. Their defense needs a little bit of bite. You got to find those two individuals. You got to get back to running the football more effectively. And with the guessing wrong, you just got to switch things up. You've been doing the same things. You got the same routine. You're boring. You're predictable now at some point. You got to switch it up. You got to go to a new restaurant. You got to change your wardrobe. You just got to spruce things up a little bit. That would be my why on what went wrong for the Chiefs.
I think we're going to disagree a little bit on the run game, but I think the run game is a symptom of the larger disease that you hit on at the end there. The Chiefs got in a rut, and I don't think they knew they were in a rut. Carrington, how many rom-coms have you seen? We're big movie people where it's like, man, there's a trope where it's like the man and wife, they do the same thing every Friday night. They do the same thing every Saturday night. It's like one of the major plot lines of Crazy Stupid Love. Steve Carell gets divorced in that movie because they just get caught in a rut. We keep doing the same thing, and there's no oomph. There's no juice. There's no energy. It's just the same, and there's boredom in the monotony. That's what I think happened to the Chiefs. They brought back the entire same coaching staff. And I remember we applauded it. Hey, no one got hired away. This is great. Except for the exact same message you had last year where you eked out win after win after win. You needed something different. You needed a new voice. But they said, no, we're good. This is working. We're 15-2. It's fine. They had that, to your point with the run game. They said, we have Pacheco, we have Kareem Hunt. We're fine. We're not in a rut. We went 15-2. We're good. The offensive line, 80% of it is basically the same as last year. They basically changed out Kingsley for Joe Thuney and Josh Simmons for Joe Thuney. So I guess 60% of it. But it's largely the guys they believe in are the same. We don't need big changes here. We're good. The wide receivers, they brought back Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown's done nothing for this team. They brought Juju Smith-Schuster back. He's done less than the nothing that Hollywood Brown's done. They brought back all the same familiar pieces, and they kept telling themselves, deluding themselves, we're not in a rut. We're fine. We were 15-2. Let's get Derek Nottie back in the fold. Let's get Mike Pennell back in the fold. Let's re-sign Nick Bolton. Let's make sure we have the exact same secondary. We're good. They treated all offseason like we're good. We're 15-2. Don't worry about it. And in hindsight, I think they were in a rut, and they didn't see it. They were just stuck in the monotony. And because of that, the league, which is ever evolving and ever changing, caught up and passed them. And now looking around, they're saying, hey, you were the guys that made us 15-2. What's going on? And their head was spinning, and they can't fix it because they actually weren't 15-2 good. I think there was a monotony, a staleness, a rut the Chiefs got caught in. And because of how good they were last year and their record, I don't think they saw it, and now they've seen it far too late.
Someone just texted in, CDOT, what are you talking about? You want a guy that can average 4.7 yards per carry. You're acting like they can find Jonathan Taylor in the offseason. What if I told you that they had a chance to get Javonte Williams this past offseason? He's averaging 4.8 yards per carry. He has 230 carries for over 1,100 yards of the season. What if I told you they had a chance to get Rico Dowdle this season, who's averaging 4.7 yards per carry and is 22 yards away from running for 1,000 yards? What if I told you that there was a running back in the 7th round this year they could have got in Kyle Monungai? Kyle Monungai is probably going to run for 850 yards this year. And meanwhile, Brashard Smith, they don't trust him enough to get a carry. They were wrong. Like, the Chiefs have done a lot of things right over the last 5-6 years. Unequivocally, they were wrong about their run game this year. In every single turn, they were wrong. They were wrong in March and April. They were wrong in the draft. They were wrong at the deadline when they could have fixed it. They just were wrong this year. I don't want them to now overcorrect it, but we can't make it seem like they haven't had chances to fix the run game. There's always a middle in things. You don't have to spend a first-round pick on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You don't have to spend 1 7th-round pick 4 years ago and hope that it works out. How about a nice 3rd-round pick? How about spending a little bit of money in free agency to fix this problem? They had chances to fix it, and they chose not to. And in the beginning of the year, for the first month of the season, when Mahomes was their leading rusher, it's not that big of a deal. It was a terribly big deal. And in the 2 most important games of the season, when the Chiefs had to win the game, they ran the ball 41 times with their running backs and got 101 yards. They had one of the 3 worst run games in the National Football League. I know Mahomes is great, and he does a lot of things. He's a quarterback like everybody else. You need to run the football effectively, and the Chiefs had no interest in doing that. Keep it right here, it's The Drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is it, the moment you've been waiting for. Saturday, December 27th at Harrah's, Kansas City, Fortune takes center stage. Every 5 minutes from 2:40 p.m. to 10:55 p.m., we're dishing out $1,000 in free casino play, fueling the excitement all day long. But wait, there's more. At 11 o'clock, the spotlight shines on one lucky winner who will claim $25,000 in cash. Are you ready to win big? Only at Harrah's, Kansas City, where the luck is all yours. 21 and older to gamble, know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford, Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Great time of the year.
It is that time of year, Toby. It's the year-end sales event. Ford always puts their best foot forward, and Lewisburg Ford is always $50 over invoice. We've got the 000 promotion going on right now, Toby. That means we've got 0% financing for 66 months with 0 down payment and no payment for 90 days on 25 F-150s, 25 Explorers, 25 Escapes, 25 Mach-E, 25 Lightning, and 25 Transit. It covers about the whole gamut for everything we've got out there, Toby. And you got 0 down payment and you got no payments for 90 days. So we've got huge incentives.
That is huge. What else?
Right now you can get up to $9,000 off a brand new F-150 and get 0% for 66 months.
Anything on SUVs?
Yeah, you've got up to $10,000 off on a 25 Escape right now, Toby.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's with our $50 over invoice and the 000 promotion. It's a great time.
Lewisburg Ford, what is your phone number?
816-444-2300.
Or LewisburgFord.com.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends, near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give.
Yes!
And receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
The Fed just cut interest rates again, and that means now is the time to refinance with Golden Oak Lending. Lower rates mean lower payments, and our customers are saving hundreds every month. Plus, you can make no payments until next year. And if your loan doesn't close, we'll pay for your appraisal. Call 913-890-GOLD today and start saving.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS number 114937.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for, client portrayal, and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
The crash still working downtown and it's big delays. Very heavy all the way back into Shawnee. 35 northbound just past 12th. The left lane is blocked. You've also got a stall downtown 70 westbound at Admiral. Be prepared to tap your brakes when you get there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Juju Smith-Schuster from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
One thing I don't want to spend the offseason doing is, I guess, like refuting this every single conversation. Let me explain. I know the thing's going to be is, well, why would they invest in running back? They don't run the ball anyway. I would say, A, that's not true. And they could run the ball basically the same amount that they run the ball now and just get more production from it. For example, Kareem Hunt this season has more carries than Kyle Monangai. He has more carries than he does this season. He has 120 less rushing yards. If they got more explosiveness at the position, they could just run the ball the same amount they do now. The same amount that they do with Kareem Hunt, the same amount that they do right now with Pacheco with more explosiveness. They could just get more bang for their buck. The Chiefs over the last 2 weeks have run the football. They run it 41 times with their running backs. You can't tell me the issue is they haven't shown a commitment to the run. They have run the ball. They just don't run it effectively. So I know I'm going to have to continue to fight this. So, yeah, they don't need to change the frequency in which they run the football. They gave Kareem Hunt 150 carries so far this season. He doesn't have a 600 yards yet this year. He's averaging 3.8 yards per carry. He is a good short yardage back. That could never be your primary option when it came to running the football. It could never be your number one option. I do want to play this audio really quickly, and we'll reset this coming up at the top. This was Mitch Holtz on the show earlier today. Rob, I do want us to spend some time talking about, do you think Mitch is right in this? Mitch thinks that all of the travel, all of the wear and tear eventually broke this team. Here's what he said.
And we've gone through the numbers. This isn't me making an excuse. You just kind of wondered. You keep stretching it and stretching it and stretching it, and then it snaps. It felt like yesterday it snapped just because of all of the late-night games and Monday nights on the road, Sunday nights on the road, playing 6 days a week, the only day not Tuesday, and doing it over a 2 to 3 to 4 year period. It just was taking on too much water. That's what it felt like to me. The rubber band finally broke, or the belt broke on the machinery.
All right. I'm not here to make excuses for the Chiefs. You know what the schedule is. It is what it is. You lost. The other team, they were in the – I understand that. I do think there is some truth to this. Now, I'll never be able to tell you in the full pie chart of blame how much this gets. But I do think you have to acknowledge the road that the Chiefs have gone through is very, very different than the road for the New England Patriots. They have added a regular season game. They've added a regular season game. That's more hits. That's more wear and tear. It's different. They have subtracted a bye week from a team. That matters. Where if you are the 2 seed and instead of playing a home game against Miami when you don't have to because you wouldn't have had to play that game, you would have just had the bye week. But no, now we got Super Wild Card Weekend. So before, when every other team in NFL history wouldn't have had to play this game, you now have to play that game. They have been trotting the Chiefs around for years now. And when they've had a new idea, they have always used the Chiefs. When they brought back Thursday Night Football, or when I went brought back, but when it went to Amazon, Rob, what was the first game? It was the Chiefs, right? It was the Chiefs against the Chargers. That was the first Amazon game. When Netflix wanted Christmas, who did they sign up for that? They signed up the Chiefs. The international games, they've gone to Germany. They've gone to Brazil. Again, I'm not here to make excuses for the Chiefs. But I do think we can acknowledge the burden that the NFL has put on the Chiefs has been disproportionate to the burden that they have put on other teams. They're not asking all of these other teams to do that the way they are with Kansas City. So do I think that played some factor in this? Sure. Now, we can argue and debate how much you think it is, and I think a counter to this would be, well, the Chiefs continue to bring back the same guys. Like, you can't say wear and tear. When you had a chance to replace those parts, you continue to use those parts. Eventually, they're going to break. There's a fair argument for that. But I don't think if you are making a power ranking of what went wrong this season, I do think the last 5 to 6 years of everything eventually just wore them down. Kind of like when you just been running, ripping and running for like a whole week, and you finally just get a chance to sit down, and then you just go to bed at like 7:30. Like, man, I didn't know I was that tired. Yeah, because you haven't sat down. You've been moving around nonstop for the last week, and your body finally said enough. I do think that is some of it. Maybe you hear that as an excuse, and I'm not here to make any excuses for the Chiefs, but I think it would be impossible to completely remove the idea that them playing on Monday night, quick turnaround, Brazil, quick turnaround. I think you'd be naive to think that the people playing this game don't get worn down by everything they've been pushed and asked to do over the short amount of time.
I do not think you're wrong. I don't think Mitch is wrong. I don't think it's excuse making. But I do think this circles back. It's one of the symptoms of a larger disease. I understand why Travis Kelce at 33, 34 years old is tired. I get it. Chris Jones has been playing in the NFL since, 2013, 2014? I get how all the wear and tear, he'd be tired. I truly get it. Even Nick Bolton plays a grueling position. Kareem Hunt, I truly get it. And I agree with it. There's an iota of me that thinks, yeah, that's what's at play. But the NFL has a built-in mechanism for you to add young blood into your roster that doesn't have that wear and tear. And when your best players are all 32, 33, 34, that wear and tear hits them harder. Carrington, where's the 24-year-old who wasn't, flying across the globe to London or Berlin 2-3 years ago to play on this team? That's an integral part of what the Chiefs do. Like, when we think of, the power structure of the Chiefs, we think of the captains, we think of, the pillars of their team. We named 30 guys our age, 33, 34, 35. Patrick Mahomes is the youngest one. He's, 31 years old? The Chiefs, I'm sure, are facing wear and tear. But you know what helped that? A 25-year-old. A 25-year-old who's a star wide receiver, tight end, linebacker, doesn't matter the position. Trent McDuffie shouldn't have the same wear and tear that Chris Jones has. There should have been somewhat of a passing of the torch from the guys that are now the power structure to the next man up. And that next man up, there's not enough of them. They're not good enough, whatever. But I understand why a Chris Jones is facing wear and tear. Why is Rashee Rice? He's 24, 25 years old. He shouldn't be facing the same wear and tear that Chris Jones did. So I think it's an iota true, but it's not true enough for me to, say, oh, and that's why it went wrong.
Again, I'm not saying that was everything. I do think it's part of it. Last thing here, Robin, I know we're up against it. I mean, last year we were kind of pointing some of these things out. And again, I just think it adds up over time. Last year, the NFL had the Chiefs play 3 games over 10 days. They were not asking teams to do this in 2004. They were not asking teams to do this in 2007. I just think over time, I think that could have possibly helped speed things up when it came to the Chiefs. It's not an excuse. You can't miss the playoffs the way that they did. But if you are trying to look for something, man, they've asked the Chiefs to do a lot over the last, I would say, even over the last 18 months, they've asked the Chiefs to do a lot. And I do think that some of that just eventually they wore out. They gave out. And I think you saw that over the course of they didn't have a second gear that they normally have. The Chiefs normally start to figure some things out and get right in the second half of the season. They didn't look any different than they did in week 12 than they did in week 2. And that was very unlike them. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll reset things. We'll get back to the top story of the day. Patrick Mahomes is going to miss some time. How long? We'll find out. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
And a crash near Lee Summit 470 westbound as you approach 50 eastbound. Be prepared to scoot to the left through here. Shawnee, that is a stall. 35 southbound past 67th, left lane blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, Missouri, if you haven't heard by now, good news. FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State, and they're kicking things off with an offer that's tough to beat. Right now, new customers in Missouri can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or more, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So download FanDuel today and head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement. Remember, new Missouri customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. Because Missouri, it's time to play your game of FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Brought to you by Gomers. 5 locations in the KC Metro or online at gomers.com. If ringing in the holidays includes cheers and libations, Gomers has your back. Voted #1 KC Liquor Shop, they offer a wide variety of beer, wine, and spirits at great prices. Stop by one of their 5 locations. You'll be glad you did.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. Your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Missouri. You can get in on all the action with fast withdrawals, a safe and secure app, and betting that's easy to use anywhere you go. And the best part, DraftKings keeps the excitement going with awesome promos and offers all season long. That's why it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't wait. New customers sign up today. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Let's go, Missouri. Get in the game.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Zero, like in 0% financing. Up to 0% financing on select 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. The 2025 Subaru Share the Love event. Subaru will donate $250 to a charity of your choice to help those in need this holiday.
And locally, you can choose Hillcrest Transitional Housing. Lee Summit Subaru will also donate $50. Subaru of America will donate $250 per vehicle sold or leased during the promotional period, and store contribution may be combined with Subaru of America donation.
Escape to your new coastal seafood paradise. Introducing Aqua Pennies, where the freshest seafood, a full-service raw bar, prime steaks and chops, exquisite handcrafted cocktails, and a one-of-a-kind atmosphere come together in perfect harmony. Aqua Pennies is now open in Park Place, Leawood. Don't miss out. Experience something truly different. Tantalize your taste buds and elevate your evening out. To learn more, go to aquapennies.com.
Coast into Aqua Pennies, now open for lunch.
Hey, it's Cody and Gold telling you about our friends over at Centric, where your career in tech can start. Just take it from Becky, who's in charge of student success.
Hi, I'm Becky Sears, Student Success Advisor at Centric. My role is really about supporting students, whether that's with their coursework, time management, or just learning to be a student again. I'm here to help students succeed every step of the way.
Over 1,800 companies have hired Centric grads, a 95% student retention rate in 2024, and an 18-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio. Find out more. Go to Centric.com and talk to our buddy Russ.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is a drive. We have a very busy week planned. We're going to have some of the biggest names in media join us over the course of this week to kind of wrap up the Chiefs season. It's over. It's over. They're not making the playoffs. Their quarterback is hurt. This is the last week of at least talking about the 2025 season. And then after this week, we'll regroup. We'll have a little eggnog. Christmas will be here. New Year's will be here. And then we'll start looking forward to the offseason in the NFL draft and figuring out who's going to represent the AFC this year in the Super Bowl, since that team, unfortunately, cannot be the Kansas City Chiefs. So, Rob, there's a lot of things I want to get into. I do want to take some calls in this 5 o'clock hour, 913-586-7965. We haven't taken as many calls as I wanted to today. It's my fault. I apologize. I guess I want to start with this. I think the Chiefs have two things that they need to focus on when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. The number one thing is getting him right physically. Now, I have no clue how long it's going to be. I mean, reading the text line right now, you're seeing a bunch of different answers. Some people wouldn't play him at all next season. Some people think that he's going to be back for the 4th of July. And that's just, I don't know. I have no clue. We had a doctor on the show earlier today, and he said that he thinks there's a chance that Patrick Mahomes could play week 1 in 2026.
I think there's a reasonable chance that he could be ready for the start of next season, but more from the pocket and less dynamic, right? And the reason why Kyler Murray didn't return until November, and yes, it is common to go on PUP coming off an ACL this late in the year, and Micah Parsons likely will be on PUP because guess what? You have to be more dynamic to be a pass rusher. Patrick Mahomes is a dynamic quarterback, but we did see yesterday a very non-dynamic quarterback, my friend Phillip Rivers, almost sneak out a win. So there's different levels of quarterback play and types of play. So because of that, I think there's a chance he could be ready the start of the season. Kyler Murray wasn't ready because Kyler Murray needs the dynamic side. Just the pure pocket Kyler Murray isn't good enough.
I agree with Mitch when he was on the show earlier that at this point, trying to pinpoint when you think Patrick Mahomes is going to be back before he's gotten a second opinion, before he's had surgery on his knee right now is just throwing darts at a dartboard. Now, some of that is what sports talk radio is. Right now, based on the information that we have, and we don't have a whole lot of information, my plan would be Patrick Mahomes would start the beginning of the season on the PUP list. You can put him on the PUP list from the day one at training camp and just see where he is. And then at that point, you can take him off the PUP list at any point that you want, and then you can evaluate where he is. I don't think there's any reason to rush it with Patrick Mahomes. I think we all agree that he is going to play at some point in 2026. I think we were just trying to figure out when that could potentially be. Maybe it's week 1, maybe it's week 5. I have no clue. But I would be absolutely surprised based on what we know about this injury and based on the countless examples we have. I mean, this is a common injury. I mean, it's one of the more severe injuries that you can have as an athlete, but it's not like this doesn't happen. It happens pretty frequently. We kind of have an idea. We read something earlier today that the Packers, they look at an ACL tear as a 10-month injury. Micah Parsons tore his ACL. So they are looking at Micah Parsons coming back 10 months from now. They have a timetable of around October. Do the Chiefs do this? Micah Parsons' body is different than Mahomes' body. Everything is different. So I'm looking at it as I think that the October timeline is a fair one. Maybe it's faster than that. Maybe it's a little slower than that. But I think an October timeline for Patrick Mahomes coming back is a realistic expectation and goal for next season. So the Chiefs have to get him right from a physical side. But I don't have any questions if Mahomes can go back to being Patrick Mahomes. Again, we got enough examples of players who tear their ACL and come back, and they come back good as new. And they come back at the same high level, dominating, winning championships, going to Pro Bowls, being named All-Pro, winning MVPs. So this is obviously not a death sentence or the end of anything for Patrick Mahomes. If anything, this creates a nice reset. Stay off your feet for the next couple of months, rest up, relax, and do those things, and let's get this thing, let's really attack it this summer and get back ready to football playing mode. So that's one side of it. I don't want to spin it like it's a positive. It's obviously not a positive, but I do think you can use this as a nice reset for everybody. You're not going to be playing football for the rest of December. You're not playing football in January. You're not worried about all the hustle of going around for Super Bowls and all those things. I don't know if you're shooting any commercials anytime soon. Just rest, relax, and spend time with your family for the next 6 weeks, and then let's see where we are. So that's one side of things when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. It's the physical side of it. I also think there is an emotional side of this thing that I don't think we have talked about enough when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. I think they broke him this year. They, meaning Andy Reid and Brett Veach. I think they set him up and this offense up for failure from the very beginning of the season. They cannot run the ball. And I think the burden of Patrick Mahomes feeling like I have to be the explosiveness in our run game, in addition to all of the other things, I think created a major problem. If we go right now through the numbers and you tell me any offense that you think is good, any offense, text line 913-586-7965. You name an offense that's good, they have an ability to run the ball. I don't think you can have a very productive offense in 2025 if you're one-dimensional and can't run the football. And the stat that I've been giving out today is the Chiefs have run the ball with their running backs 41 times over the last 2 games. These are 2 games at home, cold weather. You knew you needed to win. The Chiefs ran the ball 41 times with their running backs and got 101 yards. They cannot run the ball. So you might tell me it's the play calling. Maybe you tell me it's Andy, it's the offensive line, whatever it is. Setting your quarterback up in an offense in which you cannot run the ball is a major problem. And one thing that I think we do very wrongly when it comes to quarterbacks is we think if you're a good quarterback, that automatically means you should be able to do it in adverse circumstances. Man, football is the same. You need a good offensive line. You need to run the football effectively. You need good weapons. You need all of these things. I feel like because Patrick Mahomes has been a superhero for so long, we just forgot that those rules apply to him too. You need to run the football effectively. You need to be balanced. And once teams realized either the Chiefs wouldn't or couldn't, they have started to tee off on him these last couple of weeks. As the offensive line has gotten worse and you can't run the football, your quarterback is out there with guys who can't beat man coverage, and teams were just beating him up these last couple of weeks. I think Patrick Mahomes' greatest gift as a player is his fearlessness. I think his greatest gift is the belief that I am the best, that I can make every single throw. If you look at the way football is played at his position, he has changed it. And he has given quarterbacks confidence to do these lookaways and no looks, and he has revolutionized the position. That's not the quarterback that was playing for the Chiefs yesterday, before the injury. All of the things that made you fall in love with Patrick Mahomes, or all the things that made you believe that the Chiefs had maybe the greatest quarterback of all time, they were not present in him. He looked defeated to me. He looked broken. He looked like a man that was burdened by all of the things that the organization has put on him. I'm playing with, they had 3 undrafted offensive linemen through injuries. They certainly invested. They had 3 undrafted offensive linemen. They cannot run the football. None of their receivers can beat man coverage. I don't know how you expect to get good quarterback play out of that scenario. I don't care how good your quarterback is. That stuff matters. I think they failed him. I think they broke him. And the same quarterback that ran off the field and was counting to 10 on his fingers because Chicago passed up on him, the same quarterback that would fly around and make plays and do all these miraculous things, I think they took the glimmer out of his eye. I really think that. I think they broke him this year. So I think it's twofold. It's A, getting him back physically right, Rob. And then I think B, I think you got to get that emotion back with him. You got to find that fire back in him. And I thought he lost it the second half of the season.
I feel like, and maybe we're saying the same thing, it's just semantics and we're saying it differently. But whether it's the mental toll of the three-peat being gone, whether it's the mental toll of, it feels like the offense is not moving the same way it was when he was, first 2-3 years in the league. I don't know what it was, but he did at points this season look more tired. He looked more worn out. He looked more mentally drained than I've ever seen Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, now I know part of that's age, but he's always been like youthful enthusiasm on the sideline, rah-rah. Like he's been those things. This year, he just looked gassed mentally and physically. And I don't think it's unique to just him. I'm looking right now, Travis Kelce come off the field yesterday, looked tired. We saw him at the end of the Texans game. He looked despondent. It felt like the whole team was both mentally and physically tired. And what you're saying about Mahomes, they have to find a way to reignite that fire and get him to 100% health. So whenever he takes the field next year, there's no point in speculating week 1, week 2, week 3, weeks, whatever week it is, he's got to have an energy mentally and he's got to be 100% healthy physically, or he should not be out there because they need to get that corrected.
Someone just texted in, text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, maybe the silver lining that could expose the weaknesses in this team was that Patrick Mahomes had to overcompensate for it with his magic. But I don't think you want to lose that part of it. That's the dynasty. Every dynasty that we have seen in the history of sports, it usually is that one player that's different. NBA, baseball, whatever it is, you need that one player that's different. So the Chiefs need the magic in order to be the dynasty. I think in some ways the Chiefs took the magic for granted. I really do. Oh, well, I mean, Pat doesn't need a running back. That's okay. I think the Chiefs took all of those incredible characteristics and that Pat will figure it out. I think they took it for granted, and I think it broke them. That was not the same guy. I think that Patrick Mahomes is one of the 3 greatest quarterbacks in the history of the league. I think it's Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Patrick Mahomes. I'm not here to argue the list, but I think that's the list of the top 3. Maybe you want to put Peyton in there. He is an undoubted top 5 quarterback in the history of the league. Not right now. He is an undoubted top 5 quarterback in the history of the National Football League. Does anybody think who that's been playing for them for the last month? You think the Chiefs got that guy on their team? We're talking about 30 years old in his prime. Do you feel like they had prime Peyton Manning the last month? Do they have prime Tom Brady on their team for the last month? No, they didn't. They had a shell of that person. 2 weeks ago, he threw 3 interceptions and didn't have a touchdown. He played one of the worst games in his career 2 weeks ago at home and was playing almost equally as poorly on Sunday. That throw he made to Kareem Hunt is the worst throw he's made in his career. It's by far and away the worst throw. Time, score, situation. He threw a 50-50 ball to Kareem Hunt. A 50-50 ball. I'm not saying that Patrick Mahomes is not without blame. It doesn't have to take some responsibility for this. His decisions help cause this too. A pick 6 against Jacksonville, that throw to Kareem Hunt, he is absolutely part of the problem. But part of coaching is, or part of being management is, you have an incredible employee. You have an incredible person on your team. You got to do everything and you can to get the most out of that person's ability. And nobody can tell me that Andy got the most out of their quarterback or Matt Nagy or whomever. They didn't get the most out of him this year. And that's on them because that's your job. That's why Andy makes $15 million a year, to get the most out of your best employees. They didn't get it out of them this season. They missed the playoffs with a 30-year-old prime Patrick Mahomes. They failed. Everybody failed, if that's the case. All right, Rob, let's get to the hits.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with C-Dot and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
As always, hits are brought to you by Baker University. Make your next era orange at Baker University, the first university in Kansas, and ranked number 1 in return on investment among private universities in the state. Baker University, forever in our orange era.
All right, Rob, I do want to talk about this. I think moving forward for this team, I think they have to recenter, repurpose, and find their why. So we were reading this earlier, and this is from Jeremy Fowler of ESPN. And Mitch Holtz, who was on the show earlier, he said something very similar to this effect. I do think that this is a conversation that people were having in the league. The Chiefs just felt a step slow, a step late, all season. It never changed. It never got better.
And we've gone through the numbers. This isn't me making an excuse. You just kind of wondered. You keep stretching it and stretching it and stretching it, and then it snaps. It felt like yesterday it snapped just because of all of the late-night games and Monday nights on the road, Sunday nights on the road, playing 6 days a week, the only day not Tuesday, and doing it over a 2 to 3 to 4 year period. It just was taking on too much water. That's what it felt like to me. The rubber band finally broke, or the belt broke on the machinery.
So this was Jeremy Fowler of ESPN. An underrated aspect of the Chiefs falling flat this year, all the energy they've expended over the last 7 years. The Chiefs have played 81 games the last 4 seasons. Quote, they just look tired, one AFC executive told me. I do think that's part of it. The Chiefs usually have a second gear that they hit in the second portion of the season that they just didn't have this year. But I firmly think the Eagles took 2 things away from the Chiefs last year. And I think we all were very naive in watching this team and thinking that you can get beat the way that they got beat and think that you were just going to go back and everything was going to be the same. Everything about last season was the three-peat from everybody. From everybody. Fans, front office, players. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, in winning his second Super Bowl, he's sitting there and he's talking to Chris Jones, I want the third one. Everything they did last season, everything that they talked about, every conversation that we had in 2024 was about how can they do something that no team in the history of the NFL has done. They recorded a documentary that was based on that concept. That was the theme of last year. What was the theme this year? And even if you think it is revenge and get back, did the Chiefs ever play like that? The Chiefs didn't play like a team with this hair on fire. We've seen that before. That's how the Royals in 2015 came out. You remember, the Royals in 2015 came out with the, we want your respect, and you might not give it to us, but we are going to take it from you. Rob, you remember that first month in 2015? The Royals were ready to fight anybody. Hey, we got to Game 7 of the World Series. We are going to be back here, and that is the energy that they carried. What was the theme for the Chiefs this year? What was the slogan? What was the energy? I think the Chiefs built everything up to accomplish this incredible thing, and they got as close as you can get, and then nothing. Even watching the Kingdom, Rob, it just ends. Like, you know, they lose in the Super Bowl, but just there's not a real good conclusion to it. It's like, wait, hold on. We did all of this and we didn't accomplish our goal. I think the Chiefs have to repurpose, and find what their why is. So maybe it's the energy, the tired, all of those things. I don't think the Chiefs had a why this season. I don't think it was the revenge tour. It wasn't the all eyes on me against the. It wasn't any of that this year. They didn't play with that kind of energy this season. So I think one part of it is the Chiefs got to figure out that why. Maybe this is that why. A lot of people have left the Chiefs for dead or tried to predict when it is. I mean, if you were one of those people, you're grave dancing on the Chiefs. They missed the playoffs and their quarterback tore his ACL. So if you've been looking for a reason to celebrate the demise of the Chiefs, oh, you don't got to look much further than right now. This is the why. This is the repurpose. This is the character arc. You had the rise, you had the fall of missing the playoffs, and the redemption tour. This is something that you can get around. The why. I want to see the Chiefs get hungry again. And I don't think they've been hungry in quite some time. I think they were hungry for the three-peat. I think they absolutely were hungry for the three-peat. I didn't see any of that this year from that team. So that's one side of it. And the other thing that I think Philadelphia took for them is I think teams in the NFL feel like you can push Kansas City around. That's what I think. I've been watching Breaking Bad. I'm in the middle of season 3 now. I've been really flying through it. And you remember, Rob, the episode where Jesse's friend gets robbed by those 2 junkies? They get robbed. And then Walt goes up to him and says, well, what can anybody say? They think now they can just rob you without immunity. Like, you have to go do something. Handle it is what he tells them to go do. That's the one ATM episode. The Eagles pushed Kansas City around in front of everybody. So if you're Houston and you're watching this, and you're the Chargers and you're watching this, and you're all of these other teams, what do you think you can do then? you're at least going to try. And that's what I think you saw this season. You saw teams look at what Philadelphia did and feel like you can do the exact same thing. I think the Chargers were playing real borderline between good, hard football and dirty yesterday. I think they were playing dirty in some ways. Kind of like in a boxing match. You know, we're going to hold a little bit longer. We're going to get a late hit in right after the bell. I think they were flirting with the lines all day. And I think they just took we're more physical than you. We're the warm weather team on the short week. We're banged up. People don't think we can win this game, but we're going to prove to everybody we're tougher than you. And for all the glamorous things about football and what I think the Chiefs want to be, this super creative, Andy's been watching these plays from 1947, end around, jet sweep. How often do we talk about the jet sweep guy? Man, football will always be football. You need your guys to be more physical than their guys. You need your big boys to push their big boys. And I think you saw that teams feel like you can push Kansas City around. The Chargers definitely think that. One of the Chargers players punched their most popular player earlier in the year. Did you see any retaliation on that team? I know Frank Clark wouldn't have let that happen. You think Frank Clark would have let somebody just punch Travis Kelce the way that happened earlier in the year? I think teams think they can push the Chiefs around, and they did this season. Philly pushed them around. The Chargers pushed them around this season. Houston pushed them around this season. So we can talk about these one or two plays, and yes, a lot of these games were close at the end. I think you see that teams think we can be real physical with them in man coverage, and they can't do anything about it. And I think that eventually wears on you. You don't think they're going to beat you on the line of scrimmage. They're not going to just they're not going to grind you in the dust. Their receivers are small, 5'10", speed, get down space, zone coverage guys. I think there is a physical aspect about the Chiefs that they are missing. And I think they have missed. They need a Frank Clark. They need a Tyrann Mathieu. They need one of those kind of personalities on this team. I think they're missing it. The Eagles took two very important things away from the Chiefs. They took their why away from them, and I think they showed the rest of the league you can bully them. You can take their lunch money, and they are not going to do anything about it. Eventually, you gotta hit the bully back in the nose. And I didn't see the Chiefs at any point this season punch back. Not one single time did you see them punch back. They didn't punch back at Arrowhead yesterday. They didn't really seem to have that big of a deal of it until Tyquan Thornton was laying there on the ground, not moving. It was in the late third quarter was the first time somebody got up and did something about it. They were doing that for 45 minutes before that until the Chiefs finally got mad. Somebody on that team's got to get mad. Somebody on that team's got to get angry. We'll take phone calls on the other side, 913-586-7965. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtz, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here to tell you Rob Sight Ford is closing in on a record-setting year. And they're doing whatever it takes to get there.
That's right, Kevin. We're pulling out all the stops to finish the year strong. 0% for up to 66 months on most Ford models, including F-150s, Escapes, Explorers, Super Duties, and Transits. Top dollar trade-ins and pricing other dealers won't match.
If you've been waiting for the moment to buy, this is it. We've got the vehicles. We've got the deals. We just need one thing, you behind the wheel.
Impeccable rhyme, Kevin. But hey, this is simple, upfront, and easy, and it all ends January 5th.
Kansas City's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google. 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 reviews, and voted best car dealership in Kansas City by Kansas City Magazine. And now, we're going for the finish line. Rob Sight Ford. Buy right with Rob Sight.
135th and State Line or ROBSIGHT.com. You want inventory, you want price, you want more for your trade. Let's make it happen.
End the year in a Ford before this event drives off.
Hey, Missouri, if you haven't heard by now, good news. FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State, and they're kicking things off with an offer that's tough to beat. Right now, new customers in Missouri can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or more, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So download FanDuel today and head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement. Remember, New Missouri customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. Because Missouri, it's time to play your game with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Looking to drive your finances downfield? Main Street Credit Union is the hometown team you can trust. We help you build credit, lower monthly expenses, and finance with confidence. Or if you need a loan to grow your small business, we've got flexible options and no hidden fees. At Main Street, it's not just about the win, it's about keeping Kansas City moving forward. One goal, 1 yard, one member at a time. Get in the game at mainstreetcu.org.
Ben, it's the holidays, a time of love and joy. But if you suffer from erectile dysfunction, the season can be tough on you. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you and your partner are experiencing struggles because of ED, change it up this year. Give the best gift you can give to the one you love by treating your ED and restoring your relationship. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts at treating ED. And as a Prometic restorative health practice, we've literally seen countless thousands of relationships renewed across the nation. Plus, with treatments having success rates well over 90%, coupled with many treatment options, we can likely find the right one for you. You may even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us and give your partner the best gift you can give this season, a renewed, restored relationship. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in our office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. Looking for a better car buying experience? At Victory Ford, we do things differently. Friendly, knowledgeable people who actually listen. Clear, upfront pricing with no games or gimmicks, and financing that fits your life. Whether you're hunting a rugged truck, a family SUV, or a fuel-smart commuter, our team walks you through every option so you drive away confident. Got a trade? We pay top dollar. No haggling, just a fair, honest offer so your next ride is within reach. Need financing? Our excellent financing specialists work with multiple lenders to get you competitive terms even if your credit isn't perfect. We're easy to get to from anywhere in the city, conveniently located at the Legends in KCK, just off 435 and Parallel Parkway, down the street from the Kansas Speedway and Nebraska Furniture Mart. Stop by, take a test drive, and feel the difference of a dealership that treats you like a neighbor. Visit us today at the Legends in KCK or victoryfordkc.com. Victory Ford, where our first price is better than their last.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
This season, enjoy stress-free comfort with easy booking and trusted service from Anthony. Save up to $4,500 on a new high-efficiency HVAC system. Schedule today at anthonyphce.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Got the crash downtown still working, 70 eastbound just past Beardsley. Left lane is blocked, and then a crash 470 southbound past 40 Highway. Left lane blocked there. I'm bound with traffic on 96.5.
The only place in town to hear the hypothetical button game is on The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here with you guys on this wonderful, wonderful Monday. So if you missed the 5 o'clock, I guess the top of the thing, I think Philadelphia took two things away from the Chiefs. I think they took away their why. I think everything last year was about a three-peat. Chiefs didn't get the three-peat. I think they struggled this season to figure out what was next for them. This year just didn't have a theme. The Chiefs had a theme a couple of years ago, run it back. They won the first Super Bowl. Hey, let's do it all again. Last year, the three-peat. What was the theme of this season? We can't say it was a revenge tour. I don't think the Chiefs played like it was a revenge tour. I also think Philadelphia kind of showed the rest of the league that you can push Kansas City around and they'll fold, and I think teams tried to copy that. I think that's what Houston did last week, and I think that's what the Chargers tried to do. Someone sent this in. CDOT, Kelsey was mad and angry and trying to fire back at adversity early on in the season, but everyone kept saying he was radical and needed to tone it down. Kelsey was doing this towards his own teammates. I wanted to see that energy toward the opposition. That's what I wanted to see. Kelsey seemed more mad at Andy Reid than he was at that guy that punched him in the face in week 1 of the NFL season. So, yeah, the fiery and all that stuff was great. I just want to see it directed at the ops. It's one thing to snap at the text line sometimes. I'm not trying to snap on Rob. We on the same team. Me and Rob rep the same smart tech. So, yeah, Kelsey was doing all that at the beginning of the season. I wanted to see some of that fire toward the opposition when teams were trying to push the Chiefs around this year. I did kind of forget that. That guy really did just punch Travis Kelsey in the face earlier in the year, and just no one just really seemed to do anything about it.
I mean, if I recall the rules correctly, he open hand slapped him, which is why he didn't get tossed out of the game.
Yeah, someone should have went over there and open slapped him. That's what should have happened. Someone should have right then and there. You got to be willing to do it in that moment. And they didn't do it. And that was just, to me, that was a sign. It sounds to me like you are not buying into the they were worn down narrative. It doesn't sound like you're on that side.
I have like a little bit of belief in that. That's definitely a play, but I think there are larger issues as to why they ended up the way they ended up. I understand they're tired. I think one of the reasons they're tired is they were relying on 30-plus-year-olds to be the focal points, their offense and defense. I think they were tired because they were mentally fried after getting smoked in the Super Bowl. I think all that stuff is part of a larger problem, which is there was a staleness around this team. There was a lack of hunger, a lack of fire, and it just kept showing itself over and over and over again. So I think tiredness is part of the story, but I'm not just going to say they're tired, ho-hum, what can you expect? The Patriots, outside of 1 year when Tom Brady was hurt, they were a constant in the playoffs. I'm sure at one point Mike Vrabel and William McGinnis were tired. I have no doubt they were tuckered out. They still made the postseason, and now I know that it's tougher with the 17th game. It's easier to make the postseason now than when Tom Brady and them were doing it. They've added an extra team into the playoffs. The Dolphins are still alive. The Dolphins lasted longer in the postseason hunt than the Chiefs. That isn't just, we're fatigued. There's a lot more at play here.
I want to play for you guys what Dr. David Chow said. We had a doctor on the show. He's at Pro Football Doc. He used to be the head trainer for the Chargers back in the day. And he said that he is not going to rule out the possibility that Patrick Mahomes could start week 1 next year.
I think there's a reasonable chance that he could be ready for the start of next season, but more from the pocket and less dynamic, right? And the reason why Kyler Murray didn't return until November, and yes, it is common to go on PUP coming off an ACL this late in the year, and Micah Parsons likely will be on PUP because guess what? You have to be more dynamic to be a pass rusher. Patrick Mahomes is a dynamic quarterback, but we did see yesterday a very non-dynamic quarterback, my friend Phillip Rivers, almost sneak out a win. So there's different levels of quarterback play and types of play. So because of that, I think there's a chance he could be ready the start of the season. Kyler Murray wasn't ready because Kyler Murray needs the dynamic side. Just the pure pocket Kyler Murray isn't good enough.
So that was Dr. David Chow earlier today on the show. I don't know when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. You guys don't know when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to make it seem like none of you have ever torn your ACL before, but everybody's body is different. He gets hit in his knee for a living, so it's not just healthy enough to walk and be able to do those things, but you got to be healthy enough to play football and healthy enough to where you are going to feel confident that you can do certain things. I don't know when Mahomes is coming back, but I do know one thing. Whenever he decides to come back or whenever the decision is made, he needs to be able to do all of the same things before, or it's not worth it yet for me to him to come back. It's funny because we're having this same conversation about Darren Peterson. I'm not saying that Mahomes has to be 100% healthy because you're never going to be 100% healthy playing football. But the Patrick Mahomes that we're all used to is the Patrick Mahomes that wouldn't go out of bounds in the game against the Tennessee Titans with the Super Bowl on the line. It's the Patrick Mahomes that with the high ankle sprain has one of the most significant runs in Super Bowl history against the Philadelphia Eagles. It's the Patrick Mahomes that ran over that guy for the San Francisco 49ers a couple of seasons ago. If he can't do that with this ACL injury, then he doesn't even back on the field yet. And if the conversation is, well, let him just be a pocket passer until he figures it out, well, then that's not Patrick Mahomes coming back then. The Patrick Mahomes is the fear that he can run on 3rd and 7 and get a first down. The fear with Patrick Mahomes is that in the backfield, he can make one or two guys miss to buy himself that extra second of time to be able to make a big throw down the field. The Patrick Mahomes is the guy that made the throw against San Francisco for Chris Conley in the back of the end zone. If that's not the version of Patrick Mahomes coming back, you can keep it. I'm not interested in a lesser version of Patrick Mahomes than if that's the case. And now this organization equipped with, they have basically 90 days to figure it out. Hey, find the quarterback that you think can help you win for the first 8 games of the season. And maybe Mahomes comes back sooner than that. Maybe he comes back later than that. But I'm not ready to just throw away every goal for 2026. They can still make the playoffs next year. They can still win the division. They can still make a Super Bowl run next year. I think that Patrick Mahomes will be back at some point by, let's say, November 1st. I think he'll be back at some point by early November. So everything is still on board. So find the quarterback on who you think can help get there. I don't know if it's Justin Fields or whoever you think it can be. But you need to invest in a decent backup quarterback with everybody having the understanding, hey, you're our temporary solution until Mahomes gets back. But if Patrick Mahomes can't do all the things that made him a superhero and made him one of the 3 greatest quarterbacks in the history of the league, then I'm fine with taking as long as it needs to take. So if that means he comes back in week 8 when he maybe could have came back in week 5, I'm perfectly fine with that. The number one now objective of this offseason, the number one priority for this organization is make sure that Pat is still Pat when he gets back. I don't care about anything else. Maybe they don't fix the run game. I mean, I'll be mad. Maybe they don't get I can live with those things. There are no more Super Bowls without that. There is no second dynasty. We make a comparison to the Patriots so much. And the Patriots had a second run at some point after a Tom Brady ACL tear, but he came back the same. He came back better in some ways. If Pat can't come back and be that, then take as much time as you need. I do think he'll play at some point in 2026. I firmly believe that Patrick Mahomes is not going to miss all of next season. I don't think it's a miss all of next season kind of injury. Right now we're debating, is it week 1, week 2, week 4? I have absolutely no clue. But what I do know is if he can't make some of the miraculous plays that we've seen him make, then it's just not time for him to come back yet. We got Monday Night Football coming up in a couple of hours. Keep it right here. So drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, the holidays are here, and I don't know about you guys, but my holidays are normally centered around the eats. And for whatever your holiday plan is, I want you to make sure that you got the best barbecue in town, our friends over at Gates Barbecue. So as we get closer to those holiday parties, maybe you've already started to have them. We have our big friend Christmas gathering on Saturday. You know what I'm taking over there? I'm taking over a party tray. You thought I was going to cook for this thing? No, I'm taking over a tray. I'm walking over there. I'm setting on the counter, and I'm saying happy holidays. Maybe I'll take over some stocking stuffers. You take over a little bit of sauce, a little bit of seasoning. You know it's going to go crazy at the friends party. They got 4 different kinds of flavors. You can get the extra hot, you can get the original, you can get the sweet and mild. You also can get the Gates seasoning. Use the Gates seasoning on everything. Use it on your green beans, use it on your spinach, use it on your veggies, and most importantly, use it on your eggs. You gotta season your eggs. So, with 1 game left this season, maybe you're getting some tailgating plans out there. I mean, that game's only going to be about vibes and tailgating. Make sure that whatever your holiday plans are between now and then, make sure it includes Gates Barbecue.
At Busey, banking is about more than numbers. It's about relationships. For over 150 years, we've been helping individuals, families, and businesses reach their goals with personalized service and local decision-making. Whether you're opening your first account or planning your next big move, we're here with the tools and support to help you move forward with confidence. Busey Bank, your partner for life's moments, both big and small. Member FDIC.
Great news, Nick. Legacy boxes are still in stock. With Christmas just around the corner, there's still time to buy the best Christmas gift ever. Legacy Box.
That's right, Adam. Order today and Legacy Box ships immediately. It'll arrive ready to wrap and place under the tree.
Gather the family together this Christmas and collect all your old VHS and camcorder tapes, slides, pictures, and film reels. Then you can binge on the good old days.
From fading over time to risks like fire and water damage, your memories aren't protected unless they're on a digital format. Legacy Box helps you replay those great moments from the past, from Christmas morning to your wedding day.
Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box.
This Christmas is the time to digitize. Visit legacybox.com/value for exclusive holiday savings. That's legacybox.com/value for last-minute shopping. legacybox.com/value.
Hey, it's Brian Baldwin here. Makita knows that pros never settle. Get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. When you shop Makita at the Home Depot, these tools don't just meet expectations, they redefine them. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly designed to deliver precision job after job. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best, available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
Hey, Kansas City, this is Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. I cannot believe it. It's time to wrap up the year. And folks, I'll just say this. At Victory, we plan on finishing the year strong. To do so, I need your support. And in return, I'm going to offer you the nation's best deal on a new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram product. In fact, if you can find a better price on a comparable vehicle anywhere in the U.S., I'll beat it by $500. Business owners, truck drivers, family vehicle seekers, December's incentive packages include deals for everyone. There are so many offers available for December, I can't possibly promote them all. So I've made it easy. Simply visit VictoryMotorsKC.com and click on the conveniently placed year-end specials banner right on the homepage. You'll go straight to deals like this. Ram 2500 heavy duty starting at $36,988. New 2025 Jeep Compass Limited starting at $28,830. And an unbelievable $17,000 off on new Jeep Wrangler Rubicons. Someone needs to come purchase this iconic Jeep today and have instant equity. Stop by the Legends Auto Plaza or visit us at VictoryMotorsKC.com, where our first price is better than their last.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Gomer's. 5 locations in the KC Metro or online at gomers.com.
It's holiday cheers time, and Gomer's Fine Wines and Liquors is here for it. With 5 locations, a wide selection, great prices, and friendly service. Gomer's Fine Wines and Liquors. Family owned and KC proud since 1969.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
One crash cleared in Blue Springs, one remaining, and that is 470 southbound just before Woods Chapel. The left lane is blocked. Kansas side of things, 435 northbound. The crash is at Kansas Avenue in the left lane. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Rob, I always feel like this final segment is just always kind of like what we want it to be. I mean, this isn't normally where you come to get the hard-hitting sports analysis and sports opinions at this time. All right, Rob, you want to talk about Melvin Council? We can talk about it tomorrow, too, during a normal time.
You say,
we'll talk about it. That's fine. We can talk about it in normal time tomorrow, too.
You're not going to lead this segment with, no one's listening. No one's looking for hard-hitting sports. Let's talk about Melvin Council here.
Rob, you already know. That last 5 minutes, ain't nobody listening to the show.
Then we'll do it in the opening 5 tomorrow.
We're not going to do it then. But, yeah, we can do it. You want to talk about it?
I haven't had a chance to cut and put the harp music on your terrible "Don't Let That Guy Shoot" take again. That needs to be done first. That's on the agenda tomorrow.
I'm telling you, I'm not even joking. The last time I saw something like that was Steph Curry in the Olympics. It was just every single time it was going in. And I'm sitting there thinking, this kid can't shoot. There's nothing in his basketball history that could tell me he was capable of doing that. That's one of the greatest college basketball games from a player I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not even trying to be funny. That's as well as I've seen a college player play in quite some time. He was unguardable, which makes no sense for a guy that was shooting 31%. He had 5 of 27 from 3 coming into the game and then hit 9 threes. Rod, did you see that that's the most shots that a Kansas basketball player has taken in a game since Danny Manning in 1988? Think about all the great Kansas basketball players they've had since Danny Manning. Melvin Council took more shots in a game than all of them on Saturday, and they needed all of those shots on Saturday. That was a big-time win. I didn't watch the whole thing because why would I do that? But I did watch basically the whole second half in overtime. I watched, and I don't think Darren Peterson should play anymore for the rest of the season. I mean, not the rest of the season. The rest of the year, excuse me.
That's a major difference.
My bad.
Year versus season.
For the rest of the year. I don't think that Darren Peterson should play anymore in 2025. They have 2 games left. I was curious, so I went on StubHub. Those tickets you got for tomorrow's game ain't worth nothing. Please give them to a family, Rob.
That's already been pawned off.
Please give them. I looked to see where your seats were. I looked to see where your seats were. They were $9 on StubHub. Please give them to a family. Please give them to a father who wants to take his kid to his first KU game. Can I tell you something, Rob? Since nobody listens to the end of the show. So my stepdad, he and I have really reconnected, I would say, over the last 6 months. Talking more, spending more time together, all of those things. So we were at the MU-KU game a couple of weeks ago. And he asked me, he was like, hey, what is Allen like? And I was like, oh, it's fun. I mean, I was like, I don't participate in any of the cult things that they do. He started laughing. I was like, but it's cool. He looked at me and was like, can I go? This is a die-hard through and through Missouri fan. So then it made me think. It made me question everything about my life at that point. I'm the person that people want to take them to Allen Field. I don't want to be that in anybody's life. I don't want to be the guy like, hey, I never been to a KU game, but I know you go. No, how did I get this reputation? I don't want this reputation. I mean, I do go to a game or two a year, but that's not what I want to be known for. I haven't told anybody that story, Rob. You're the only person I told that to.
Take him to a real game. Don't take him to Towson.
I'm not doing that. Come on now. I mean, if we're gonna go, we gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta go to a real game.
We gotta go. Yeah, if we're gonna go, we gotta go.
You're not going to Davidson. We're
not going. Yeah, no. If we're gonna go, it's gonna be.
You know how to get into Big Monday.
It's gonna be an Arizona,
yeah.
Iowa State, one of those like that. For him, I'll call in a favor. I'll ask, like, hey, can you take care of us? Put us in some decent seats. Yeah, I'll do that. All right. I mean, he said it in a way that he felt like he was missing out on something. He was like, man, how is it? Because I was telling him, I was like, oh, this is basically what a KU home game is like. They're doing all the songs and chants and cheers. He was like, I never been before. And I was like, really? Like, you never been? He's like, would you take me? Okay, I'll take you if you want to go. All right, Chiefs Kingdom coming up next. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive.
The Drive.